At Cool Today, we've been keeping our customers cool since 1963. When your AC is broken, you don't want to wait for service. And you shouldn't. With our same-day comfort guarantee, we promise to be there within 4 hours or your service call is free. Our techs are ready to serve you now. Guaranteed. We drive mobile warehouses, and we fix 95% of all AC problems on the same day. If your AC is broke, don't wait. We guarantee we'll be there within 4 hours. Visit CoolToday.com to book now.
CoolToday.com.
Chevy Sales, Marty speaking.
Marty!
What's with the horn?
It's the summer closeout at Victory Lane Chevrolet. So they're getting big shipments of new Chevys. Whoa, there goes a bunch of new Equinox with 0% for 60 months.
Not again.
Yes, sir, Marty man.
How many Chevys you got?
Too many to count. Oh, that's a small shipment. Look at that. Hey, Marty, I think these are for you. During the summer closeout at Victory Lane Chevrolet. New Equinox with 0% for up to 60 months or make no payments for 120 days. Plus, bring us your trade and get an additional $1,000 off on any in-stock vehicle, regardless of your trade's condition. Victory Lane Chevrolet on the corner of Fowler and Winkler. Find new roads. Online at victorylanechevrolet.com.
0% offer with approved credit. Must finance with GM Financial. All rebates to dealer offers do not combine. Some exclusions apply. Taxes and fees extra.
This is 92.5 WFSX Estero, Fox News. Right all along. On the radio, on your smart speaker, and online at rightallalong.net.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The former president will sit down for a deposition today in New York, where the state attorney general is investigating his business practices. He posted early this morning online it's a continuation of the greatest witch hunt in U.S. history. The day after,
a federal appeals court ruling the House of Representatives Ways and Means Committee can be given former President Donald Trump's tax returns from the IRS. In a unanimous decision, the D.C. court saying the returns would inform the committee on the efficacy of the presidential audit program and the request doesn't violate Trump's First Amendment rights.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz. All this after the FBI raid Monday at the Trump Mar-a-Lago, Florida residence amid a probe into classified documents taken from the White House.
This is America's greatest nightmare, and it's unfolding right before our eyes.
Republican Congressman Jody Hice tells Fox Democrats are using the Justice Department as a weapon, demanding answers from the Attorney General. Another GOP lawmaker, Jim Banks, tells Fox the former president has made up his mind about a 2024 run.
Meanwhile, we now have information on the judge who reportedly signed off on the Mar-a-Lago search warrant. Florida federal judge Bruce Reinhart made donations to former President Barack Obama's successful campaign and former Florida Governor Jeb Bush, who ran a failed 2016 presidential bid.
Fox's Brooke Singman, a Trump-backed Republican, won the primary for governor in Wisconsin.
I'm going to work hard for the people of Wisconsin, and we are going to make this state the greatest that it possibly can be.
Jim Michaels will try to unseat Democratic Governor Tony Evers after defeating Rebecca Clayfish, who was endorsed by ex-Vice President Pence. A week after Washington's primary, GOP Congresswoman Jamie Herrera Butler has conceded defeat to a Trump-endorsed Republican, Joe Kent.
And Congresswoman Butler joins the growing list of Republicans who voted to impeach former President Trump to lose their primary.
That's Fox's Marianne Rafferty. America's listening to Fox News.
Grandpa Joe doesn't want voter ID, but Uncle Sam says we have to do a station ID. 92.5 WFSX Estero, Fox News. Right all along.
This update is presented by Johnston Spinal Care, the leader in spinal decompression. Find them online at 596back.com.
Wink News, traffic.
If you're waking up in Lehigh Acres, there's a crash listed Williams Ave at 7th Street. Proceed with caution. There's also traffic control off of Corkscrew Road, Palomero Court, and Grandeza Lake Circle. In Collier County, Collier Boulevard and Port-au-Prince, there is a crash. Proceed with caution. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. Belinda Post, Wink News.
Wink Weather Authority.
More Saharan dust sticks around across southwest Florida for today. It's going to be bringing us another hazy and hot one with highs set to warm into the middle 90s. With that Saharan dust in place, we'll be looking at a stretch of below average rain chances kicking off today. Still some isolated areas of rain and thunderstorms, particularly after 5 p.m. expected and into the early evening hours, but more of us will stay dry. Thursday and Friday also featuring just some isolated afternoon thunderstorms with the hazy and hot conditions set to persist on. A high of 95 degrees for Thursday, where we could be tying a record for a daytime high, and a high of 94 degrees on Friday. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
There's a reason they call tasteless, stale food leftovers. Feed your brain the right way. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
So are you sick and tired of that constant pain in your knees or hips or back, especially this time of year? You need to be moving pain-free, right? Hey, it's Drew Steele for the team at QC Kinetics. Look, QC Kinetics is helping people here every day, giving them lasting pain relief using the latest advances in regenerative medicine. The science is simple. They concentrate on your own body's healing agents and apply them to your aching joints, restoring and repairing damaged tissue with no drugs, no steroids, and no surgery. Listen, the old remedies for pain are not the only remedies. You need to learn more about how regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics can change your life. Make this the last summer you suffer from chronic pain. They've got clinics here and all over America. This is the exciting new natural way to deal with joint pain with no side effects and no downtime. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 239-893-PAIN. That's 239-893-PAIN with locations in Naples and Fort Myers. 239-893-PAIN.
This is Jada Langford Fleming. I spent 20 years in the classroom as a teacher, but walked away when our school district stopped putting children first, stopped respecting teachers, and forced us to indoctrinate our students with their liberal agendas. I'm running for Lee County School District to change that. I'm running to bring the education of our children back to the forefront of the district's priorities. And I am determined to change the current culture and put parents and taxpayers back in charge of our schools. I'm Jada Langford Fleming. I'm a 7th-generation Floridian, and this community means everything to me. I grew up on many of your TV screens advertising my parents' local car dealership. Remember, y'all spoken here. Well, that was me. Now I'm a mom and a businesswoman who's fed up with our school board and ready to make a change. I'm Jada Langford Fleming, and I am running to bring common sense conservative leadership to our school board, and I'd be honored to have your vote. Paid by Jada Langford Fleming for Lee County School Board, District 6.
When Truly Nolan is on the chase, what do you know? You know they're faster than a speeding cockroach, able to leap into spaces where only spiders hide. You know they're smarter than conniving ants and more nimble than a swarm of mosquitoes. You know whatever they're after, they'll get the job done right. Because when Truly Nolan is in hot pursuit, you know there's no escape. Schedule your free estimate today and get $50 off pest control by going to TrulyNolan.com or call us at 800-GO-TRULY.
Our kids can't vote, but you can. I'm Denise Nystrom for Lee County School Board District 6. Everyone votes for me in District 6. As a former assistant superintendent of schools, I am not happy with our education system. I have attended all school board meetings, and with my skill set, I can hit the ground running. School board elections are critical. If we want our country back, we take our children back. I have the right credentials. I am the right choice. Vote August 23rd for Denise Nystrom. Paid for by Denise Nystrom for Lee County School Board District 6.
Let's hear from Dr. Johnston at 596-BACK.
Low back and neck pain have become two of the most significant medical problems in the United States today. In fact, they are the most common complaints presented to physicians. Unfortunately, the knee-jerk reaction to back pain has been anti-inflammatories, muscle relaxants, injections, and then surgery. Fortunately, this is changing and changing fast. Many doctors now recommend non-surgical treatments, and the most successful has been spinal decompression therapy. At Johnston Spinal Care 596-BACK, I've made it my mission to get the word out about spinal decompression. Safer than medications, and it actually addresses the root of the problem. Sciatica, stenosis, neuropathy, herniated discs, arthritis are all conditions that respond very well to spinal decompression, with long-term results. Even failed back surgery patients can find relief from spinal decompression. Isn't it time to get active again? Call our Medicare-friendly office, Johnston Spinal Care, at 596-BACK for a free telephone consultation. 596-BACK, 596-2225.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South is the Florida window factory. Our windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers, because we understand Florida weather. With New South Windows, you don't have to sacrifice energy efficiency for storm protection. Our Energy Star rated windows and doors are made with impact and non-impact options, giving you the best of both worlds. New South Window, home of your ultimate Florida window.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts up to 30%. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
Thank you for waking us all up out here, for all you do. And
thank you for giving us a voice.
For being out there helping to keep the constitutional republic.
I want to thank you for
your support for veterans in the military.
Educating us.
Standing up for conservatism.
Giving us the truth.
Daybreak with Drew Steele.
All right, so some pretty weird, strange statements. Pretty strange stuff going on right now with regard to the FBI raid. I know we're not supposed to call it a raid. Don't call it a raid. Don't do that. No. That's a harsh term. It's a raid. They're going in and they're raiding. When you're running through Melania Trump's dresser drawers to find stuff, that's a raid. It's a little weird. Hey, can we go in? Oh, they didn't have to ask anybody, by the way, if it's okay if they do that, because nobody was in there because everybody had to leave there's so many things now that are coming out after the raid at Mar-a-Lago that I got questions. You've got questions. Jake's got questions. Jake always has questions. Lots of questions that we would like to get answered this morning. Whether or not we will, I don't know, but we're going to explore some different possibilities. So we'll get to that story coming up. And why is it? Does it seem strange to anybody, weird, odd, that Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and others are just like, they got nothing to say. Yeah, I don't want to comment on the raid. Yeah, I got nothing to say about it. I don't know. Like, it seems very weird that a Nancy Pelosi and a Chuck Schumer, the two of them together, right? Nothing to say at all. Like, no comment. All you do is talk. All you do is talk smack, talk trash all day long. And all of a sudden, I can't really say. I found out like everybody else. I had no idea this was really? Yeah, something's not right. Something stinks in Mudville or something like that. I don't know if there's really a stink in Mudville. I can't. Or wasn't Casey at the bat in Mudville? You have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm on an island. Jake's staring at me like, Casey at the bat? Mudville, wasn't it? Maybe it wasn't Mudville. Casey at the bat. You don't even know. When I say Casey at the bat, you don't even know what I'm talking about.
Not a clue.
Not one single idea.
I'm imagining somebody named Casey stepping up to the plate.
Right.
Then they take the bat. They swing it a couple times.
Right. It's a baseball. Okay. Never heard of Casey at the bat.
No.
239-479-5592. That is the Brett AC talking text line. A demonstration right there of the cultural difference that's going on between the host and the producer. Here live in studio, it feels a lot like what happens in my home. It feels a lot like what happens. There are these divides that happen with people. You know, sometimes I talk to my son like that. I have a conversation with my son, and I keep forgetting that he's 13. And I'll say something to him. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about, Dad. It's like, never mind. Because he's, there's a maturity thing going on with my son where you talk to him and it's sort of like you're sitting and you're talking to an adult and you just all of a sudden you get carried away and he's like,
I don't think it's a maturity thing. I think it's a cool thing. He's just cooler than you.
Yeah, he is. There's no doubt. His golf game is getting seriously good. So, which is fun.
You're just proving my point.
Yeah, it's nice. Look, it's just nice when your child is... It's not even excelling at anything. It's just enjoying stuff. Like, that's it, Jake. It's not about, don't get caught up in they've got to be the best. They got to be the best soccer player. They got to be the best baseball player. They got to be the best whatever it is. Just, they're enjoying things in life. They're enjoying some extracurricular activity. Or maybe they're enjoying school, whatever it is. Just enjoy it. Soak it in. Watch it all unfold. Encourage those things that they're excelling at. You find something if, for example, Jake is quite the math whiz. Not a lot of people know this, but as what? You're not the math whiz?
Yeah. Not bad.
Maybe it was a cheese whiz. I don't know. There's a couple of whizzes that I wasn't sure.
I could pull out a protractor and do some geometry.
All right. What does a protractor do? Okay. Yeah. So I'm not calling you out on the what? So, no yeah. So it's just about, you encourage, you nurture. If you find something that your child excels at and you're like, man, I didn't really expect that. I thought he was going to do what his old man was doing, and instead he's gone in a different direction, and he's really good at math, and it looks like he might want to be a math teacher. Great. Encourage, let's see where this goes. It's because that's where the fun in life comes in. When you're working and you're doing a profession that you enjoy, that's a good thing. Now, if he's saying, I had no idea, I thought he was going to be in the old man's business, and instead he's studying, he's taking courses on gender studies at some university, then, yeah, He's taking LGBTQ studies as a minor in some university. Nobody's doing that. I mean, let's stop. It's a
breaking news.
A bombshell. Oh, yes, they are. Yeah, the University of Nevada is launching LGBTQ studies as a minor. So it's good to, from the Department of Gender, Race, and Identity, because, there's quite the career ahead of you in gender, race, and identity studies. I mean, it's going to be full-fledged, full bump. You're not going to get enough of it. I mean, you're talking about money flowing. It's not going to be the case, but anyway. All right, so let's get to a little bit of the audio from yesterday. Doesn't it seem weird to anybody that Nancy Pelosi just got nothing to say? She's on with Savannah Guthrie, NBC, yesterday morning. The raid. How about this raid? Can you believe this raid? What about this raid? Do you have any thoughts about the raid? It's
Well, I, as others, learned on my phone that had happened, so I don't know very much about it.
She had no idea. She just learned about it on her phone, everybody.
But again, I'm sure that information will be revealed, and when it does, we'll find out what they were looking for. It seems to have something to do with presidential documents, but I really am not in a position to talk about it because all I know is what's in the public domain.
No, you really are in a position to talk about it, considering that you talk about everything else that has to do with Trump. You've talked about a lot of different things in the past.
Bowl of doggy do.
Yeah. And so all of a sudden now she's clamming up like there's nothing to say. Does that seem weird to anybody? Like I didn't know. I found out on my phone. Chuck Schumer was being asked on Rachel Maddow's program. Chuck Schumer, who you could make the case was instigating people to go after Supreme Court justices because of Roe v. Wade decisions. You remember the screaming and the yelling. Chuck Schumer, who is never short of words for anything in life. Check this out.
FBI has searched the home of the former president.
Yeah, well, I know nothing about it other than what I've read, like everybody else. So I think it's wise for me to withhold comment until we learn more.
I appreciate that.
Even Rachel Maddow's like, yeah, that's all you got? Really? Huh. Okay. How about this? How about it was McCarthy on the House side that was talking about what could possibly happen if the Republicans take over in 22 and maybe some committee selections. And maybe you better keep your records together, Merrick Garland. Here you go.
Republican leader Kevin McCarthy just made a statement online about the FBI executing the search warrant at the former president's home. He said when Republicans take back the House, they will conduct immediate oversight of this department. And then he says this, quote, Attorney General Garland, preserve your documents and clear your calendar, effectively threatening Attorney General Garland in response to the FBI having executed this search warrant tonight. I know that you don't want to talk about the substance of the matter at Mar-a-Lago, but I do want to ask your reaction to what Mr. McCarthy has said.
Look, I think none of us know the facts, and any comments are premature.
But, did something happen to Chuck Schumer? Is he okay? Should we check if he's been hanging around with Joe Biden too much? I mean, because maybe the starting to rub off on him or something. That seems really strange, doesn't it? That nothing. Chuck Schumer, I got nothing to say. Really? Okay. Well, Nancy Pelosi always has something to say, so Savannah Guthrie went on about the same topic, about Kevin McCarthy, and hey, Merrick Garland, get ready, committees, don't burn any paperwork, we got things we want to check out. You have anything to say about that, Nance?
Well, first of all, I think the Democrats are going to win the House. We've been prepared for it for a long time.
Wait, we got to do a little of this. She's kidding, right? Well, you know, I guess if you do things like, raid homes of former presidents to make him look bad and to make everybody attached to that president look bad, and then you as a voter look bad, and then all kinds of other things, you could possibly have a probability and 2,000 mules. What? Maybe we've got to keep the election integrity going. I'll tell you what.
And now with what's happening with Roe v. Wade and the legislation that we are passing, I think that whatever the leader is saying is probably idle, but nonetheless, we believe in the rule of law, and that's what our country is about, and no person is above the law.
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on a second. Can you rewind that? Rewind the tape, please. Can you play that again? So here's Nancy Pelosi, off the cuff, off the brain. Here she goes, right? It's a... All right, no, leave her alone. All right, here we go. What did she say?
We believe in the rule of law, and that's what our country is about, and no person is above the law.
No person is above the law, Jake. Nobody. No person's above the law.
Not even the President of the United States. Not even a former President of the United States.
Wow. Really? Is that... Yes, Nancy Pelosi did say that. Boy, there's a lot of questions. Hey, how's your I don't know. How's your husband doing there, Paul Pelosi? I don't know. The two of you both looking and saying, man, we're going to sign a $280 billion bill that's going to make chip manufacturing, bring it back to the United States. And isn't it funny that you bought a whole bunch of stock before it's a little, look, it's almost like insider trading kind of thing going on. Yes, sir.
And then you go to Taiwan, which is the number one distributor of this chip.
Yeah. You know, and just letting them know that, hey, no hard feelings, but we're going to bring things back here. Hey, any good stock tips? So you got Nancy and Paul Pelosi. You got Joe and Hunter. You know, they're not above the law. I mean, Hunter Biden. Do you want to go through some of the crimes and everything? And Hillary Clinton. Do we want to go through that? How does that work? Do we want to even talk about?
I'm really offended personally.
Yeah. So there's a lot there. So she's quite serious. So just to let you know that it seems really odd to me and to others that Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer really don't have a whole lot to say about the raid. As if, yeah, you know what? We found out like you found out. We had no idea. It's a surprise, a shock, I tell you. Really. Even the White House, no idea, none.
Repeatedly that the president learned of the news of the FBI visit to Mar-a-Lago the other day through news reports. Can you tell us anything more? Was he watching the news? Was he scrolling Twitter? Did someone in his staff flag it for him?
I can tell you this: he was not aware of the was it the Mar-a-Lago raid? I don't know what you guys are calling it before it happened. So I can tell you that did not know. He learned about it really like all of us did. I'm sure maybe someone on his team flagged it for him. But
yeah, so somebody on the team flagged it, and they said, hey, wake up, wake up, wake up! Okay, yeah, something happened. Is that really? Really? Okay, so just like everybody else did, that the President of the United States didn't know anything, found out in news reports. Wasn't there another president that said the same thing, right? It was in 2014, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm just going to double check this, because this seems the MO. This is the MO of Democrats. The Biden White House had no idea that the raid was going to go on. Chuck Schumer didn't know anything, and he's not even going to comment on it. The guy with one of the biggest traps to clap in a long time. Nancy Pelosi, yeah, you know, let's talk about other stuff. And how's my hair look? Everything look good? Okay. You got any stock tips? Wasn't it President Obama that said about that he didn't know anything about a lot of the scandals that were happening at the time? The IRS targeting the Tea Party groups, the Fast and Furious gun running. Remember, he was saying, I learned about it on the news. I had no idea. He said it at a Democrat fundraiser back in 2014. He heard about it on the news, about Fast and Furious, where allegedly guns were being run into Mexico. And ATF knew about it, but didn't apprehend those who had sent it. Really, Eric Holder. Remember? Yeah, Eric Holder. Not a whole lot going on with him. You know, somebody lost their life because of what Eric Holder did and the Fast and Furious situation there and the gun running that was going on. But, you know, I had no idea. Nothing. Because nobody will push back. See, that's why they do it. Because they have a willing media that says, oh, okay, no problem. I don't want to push it. All right, that's good enough for me. You know, the other thing we find out, again, is that a lot of what we see and what happens is clearly politically. The weaponization of the alphabet bureaucracies, pick one. It's been going on for a very, very, very long time. And who benefits from the weaponization and who doesn't do it, that you can't pull this off without a willing media. I mean, it's pure Marxism. It's Stalinism. It's clear that the only way you get to do this is if you have a willing media to go along with what you're doing, and they don't want to rock the boat because it's same team. We're on the same team. You know, there's something else that we're going to get into later on this morning, and it's something that Rand Paul said in 1988. You know, he talked about the FBI. He talked about the concerns that he had back in 1988 and the history of the FBI. And it was an interesting conversation I had with a representative yesterday about something that we should dig into. You know, what do we? Why do we need an FBI? No, that's a serious question. Do we really need an FBI? Because do we need a CIA? The idea that we can't survive as a country without a lot of these alphabet bureaucracies, the IRS, is nonsense. It's not like the founding fathers said in the Constitution, or they put this out there right away. And in the 1790s, here we go. We're building a brand new nation, and our founders were like, "Man, we need an FBI. We need a Federal Bureau of Investigation. Hey, can we do that? Yeah, you like my wig today? No, I'm not racist. Yeah, that kind of thing. They may have been having those kind of conversations, but it's odd. Because the assumption is you got to have it. Can't survive without it. I mean, how could we possibly have a nation? The idea of not having an FBI, what would we do? So I had that conversation yesterday, and it is interesting because there are some people that are talking about this. There are some people that are saying, well, what if? So let's talk about some of the what ifs coming up. All right, 239-479-5592 is the Brett AC Talking text line, streaming live, drewsteele.com. The website, Steele has 3 E's. You can go there to watch. Facebook.com/DrewSteele Radio as well. Subscribe to the channel on Rumble. It helps. This Friday is the makeup date for our first Friday of the month at Oaks Farm Seed to Table. Last week we were at CPAC, so this week we will be there on Friday at Seed to Table Live. They open up an hour early so you can grab coffee, grab breakfast, stop by, maybe on your way to taking the kids to school or going to work or whatever it is, or stop by and hang out with us. We would love to see you. Our first Friday broadcast at Oaks Farm Seed to Table, the makeup date, this Friday. So we're looking forward to seeing you there. Coming up, if you missed our interview yesterday with Congressman Louis Gohmert, we talked about the FBI raid. A lot of people talking about that interview. So let's replay that coming up in just a few minutes. Stay break 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
92.5 Fox News, right all along.
Byron Donalds, Southwest Florida's conservative congressman. Byron is standing up to the Washington radicals and taking on the woke left. Byron is working to secure the border, tackle inflation, and get spending under control. Here's Byron Donalds.
They still want to spend billions and billions and billions of dollars on this Green New Deal while inflation is through the roof, hurting every American, regardless of your party, regardless of your race, regardless of your socioeconomic status. This is the insanity on Capitol Hill.
Byron Donalds has been fighting against this insanity every day to keep Florida free. That's why President Donald Trump endorsed Byron Donalds and called him a defender of the Second Amendment, and that Byron is a supporter of America First policies. Byron Donalds, Southwest Florida's conservative congressman.
I'm Byron Donalds, and I approve this message.
Paid for and approved by Byron Donalds for Congress.
Did you know that King Roofing has expert dedicated repair crews to troubleshoot roof problems? They can fix everything from tree damage to broken tiles and, of course, roof leaks. Do you have a leak or water stains or tile damage? Call King Roofing, a roofing company with the right team to repair it. King Roofing, experienced in roof repair for over 40 years.
License number CCC 057279.
Every castle deserves a king.
Hey, it's Tim Cooper with Health Plan Network. I can't help with gas prices or rising inflation, but I can help you lower your cost of health insurance. Are you tired of paying all of your medical expenses out of pocket because you never meet your deductible? Well, my Freedom of Choice plan puts most of your coverage up front, where you only meet a deductible if you go into a hospital. You pick your doctors, and it's 30 to 60% lower cost than Obamacare. This plan is available all year round, so there's no reason to wait. You can change now. If you're paying for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call me, Tim Cooper. It just takes a few minutes at 239-268-6712. That's 239-268-6712. Or go to healthplannetwork.net. That's healthplannetwork.net. And we can custom design a plan that's managed by you, not the government.
Looking for a reputable HVAC service provider? 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating of Naples provides a high level of service and value to our clients. To learn more, visit onehourairnaples.com or call 855-1HOUR.
Jason and Todd with the Diamond District invite you to their Wedding Band Expo this weekend, Saturday, August 13th and Sunday the 14th. America's top bridal designers will join the Diamond District with the largest selection of wedding bands, and Jason and Todd will give you 20% off manufacturer's direct pricing.
This Fox Business Report is presented by the Darda Real Estate Group at dardagroup.com.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
We may be catching a break from inflation. We'll find out in a few hours as the federal government releases a key inflation report, the Consumer Price Index. It's expected to show a drop thanks mostly to falling gas prices. A lot of people are struggling to pay their mortgage in the U.S.
A new report from the real estate data company Adam shows the number of foreclosure filings in July soared 143% from a year ago. The good news is that it was down 4% from the previous month.
Jerry Willis from the Fox Business Network. Wall Street closed lower Tuesday after some disappointing earnings reports, like chipmaker Micron Technology, who warned investors revenues could fall because of weakening demand. The Dow was off 58 points at the close, the S&P down 18. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jill Nato, invested in you.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, beat the largest timeshare company in federal court and has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-328-9696. That's 800-328-9696.
Joe Biden's plan for America? Recycled leftovers. Time for some right thinking. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling Tip of the Day. Most of you know my granddaughter Kaylee, who has been doing commercials with me for 10 years. We laugh when we hear commercials about free air handlers and vacations all over Europe, or maybe even a giant rebate to buy your old air conditioner back. It's just funny. It says that these advertisers think you're that stupid, they can give something away for free. It's just crazy. She's only 12 years old, and even she knows better than that. When you call Kobe Cooling, you'll get an honest, NATE certified mechanic who won't try to sell you an air conditioner, he'll fix it. And if you want to go on vacation, by all means, go on vacation. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you'll think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313. Kobe, the most trusted name in the business since 1949.
I'm Lisa King, candidate to be your clerk of the Circuit Court. Public safety, saving taxpayer dollars, and improved customer service are my top priorities. In listening to the citizens of Lee County, they agree. As a Lee County native, serving you has been my career. I worked 6 years in the clerk's office and 23 years of additional experience with the administrative office of the courts. It gives me the understanding to know how to make the clerk's office more effective in our judicial system. I've been dedicated to the citizens of Lee County for 29 years, and I'm proud to have the endorsement of our top law enforcement officer, Lee County Sheriff Carmine Marcino. This election is your opportunity to have your voice heard. Lee County voters will choose the next clerk of the Circuit Court. I have the qualifications to do this job and do it well for you. I'm Lisa King, and I'm asking for your vote on August 23rd. Learn more at votelisakingforclerk.com. That's Lisa with a Z. Hashtag Vote King. Paid by Lisa King, Republican for Lee County Clerk of the Circuit Court.
Power outages are common in Florida. Any homeowner who's experienced a lengthy power outage knows the value of a whole home standby generator. I'm Nathan, one of the owners at Generators by Design. We live here too, and we recognize that a reliable standby source of power is a tremendous comfort and possibly even a lifesaver. Despite what Mother Nature may bring, be confident knowing you'll have working lights, appliances, and of course, AC. At Generators by Design, we install fully automatic systems for your particular home and your specific needs. With over 40 combined years of experience in the electrical, gas, and generator business, we guarantee your satisfaction. We stand for the flag, love our great country, and care about our customers. Call us at 239-689-8786, and I'll personally come out, meet you, and provide a free evaluation and estimate. Online at generatorsbydesign.com. That's generatorsbydesign.com. Generators by Design, where your power is our priority.
Did you know that Genesis is the only automotive brand with an IIHS Top Safety Pick Award for every vehicle it makes? Yes, it's true. Hi, I'm Sheila Zellers, owner of Genesis of Naples. We're the #1 selling Genesis dealer in the nation, and I invite you to come see our tremendous selection of new Genesis sedans and SUVs. Test drive Motor Trend's 2022 SUV of the Year, the all-new Genesis GV70, or the elegant new Genesis GV80. Both featuring superior performance, head-turning design, posh interiors, and the latest technology you're looking for. Plus, the all-new 2023 Genesis G90 sedan is getting a dramatic redesign. Go online and see for yourself. Safety, style, customer satisfaction, and selection, you get it all at Genesis of Naples, your first choice for luxury. Visit us on Airport Road or online at genesisofnaples.com.
Based on 2021 retail sales, visit IIHS.org for more information.
My name is Sam Fisher. I'm a father, businessman, and conservative candidate for the Lee County School Board. I am also endorsed by Governor Ron DeSantis. Governor DeSantis endorsed me because he knows I'm a conservative fighter that will empower parents and put our children back at the forefront of the district's priorities. For years, our school board has ignored parents and taxpayers, pushed a radical leftist agenda, and wasted our tax dollars. Board members spend more time fighting amongst themselves than they do focusing on the education of our children. It's time for a change. I'm Sam Fisher, and I'm ready to make a difference on the Lee County School Board. I'll put an end to woke liberal policies, I'll get the $2 billion budget under control, and I'll make our schools safer. It's time to bring conservative policies to the school board, and that's why Governor DeSantis endorsed me. I'm Sam Fisher. I'm proud to have the support of Governor Ron DeSantis, and I would be honored to have your vote. Paid by Sam Fisher for Lee County School Board District 1.
Everyone recognizes the need for insurance on their home, car, even their life. But what about your retirement? The last year was a tough lesson for some who thought the market was a one-way trip higher. Talk to Bob Grace, president of Retirement by Design. Bob can show you how to put guardrails on your retirement, providing the income you need and the peace of mind you want. Call Retirement by Design at 249-8888. That's 249-8888. 249-8888.
The right place for local talk. Drew now. Trey for the Drive at 5. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
All right. Just a reminder, coming up on Friday, we'll be at Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road in Naples. It is our first Friday makeup day. So last week we were at CPAC, so this week we'll be there. Looking forward to that. And hopefully you'll join us. 239-479-5592. That is the Brett AC Talk and Text line. Yesterday, we had a chance to speak with Representative Louis Gohmert to ask him about, among other things, January 6th and, of course, the raid on Mar-a-Lago. Wanted to get his thoughts on that. And before we had the conversation, I was talking on the air about, listen, you got to be concerned about how the 22 election's going to go. Because if you're going to talk about putting committees together and Kevin McCarthy putting a committee together and we're going to go after you, Merrick Garland, don't you get rid of any of your documents and you better be ready because lots of questions have to be answered. Yeah, that sounds great. But here's the thing. When it comes to that and also votes, when you're in the minority in the House of Representatives, it's easy to stand on your principles and your values and your convictions. And it's easy to say, I'm a constitutional conservative and I'm going to stand on every vote. And you can do that because you're going to lose because you're in the minority. But when you're in the majority, things are a whole lot different. If 22 means we're going to be in a majority, a Republican majority, that means now you stand on your principles. And then you got some folks that are in there, maybe some swampy swamp folks that are like, hey, listen, buddy, we need that vote. And you're like, no. That goes against my constitutional principles. I don't need to spend more money. Inflation, have you seen that? We don't need to do this. I said, yeah, got to play ball. Got to play ball. Come on. Got to play ball, buddy. And then all of a sudden, your principles are challenged. That's when the real rubber meets the road. That's when really you get to find out who your constitutional conservatives are. So I just brought that up. And so there we are yesterday having the conversation with Representative Louis Gohmert, and we asked about that, among other things, including J6 and his thoughts on the raid at Mar-a-Lago. And Jake, you can hit that. You can hit that right now.
Hey, Drew, I'm doing well, and you nailed it right before the break when you were saying, we're all together as Republicans right now, and what happened yesterday really should unite even those people that say, well, I just can't stand Trump. It ought to unite us. In the minority, it's easy to be conservative. But it's when we get in the majority, when you start seeing people that are on radio or TV and they're mighty and righteous, and we get the majority, and then once I've seen it now for years, once the Republican leadership gets you to vote for something you know you shouldn't, then they've got you, and they will come hammer you until you change your vote to what they want. They've got you. They own you from then on. And it's amazing how many people that sure look conservative right now don't end up. But right now, we're united, and I hope and pray literally that we're going to be rallying together behind the injustices that have occurred.
Right.
Not everybody has been out there. They've really been afraid to stand up and say, wait a minute, regardless of what the January 6ers did, they deserve due process.
Right.
And they haven't gotten that. And let me just say, what we're seeing was really begun by Bob Mueller as FBI director. And people don't remember, but Ted Stevens was a senator. They went and raided his home, grabbed all of the evidence. And this is what scares me about what they did yesterday. And they claimed that Ted Stevens had gotten this free $800,000 billed onto his home from a contractor. And actually, the contractor had told him at one point, look, you're paying too much. And Stevens had indicated that, no, they watched me. I've got to pay extra so they'll know I didn't cheat. Well, when the FBI seizes all the evidence, all your banking records, all your evidence that you've got, you don't have any evidence to prove you're innocent. You shouldn't have to. They ought to be able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you're guilty. But in that case, they tried him a couple of weeks before his election. So much for this rule about not affecting elections. And they, of course, found him guilty. He didn't have the evidence he needed to show that he didn't accept this stuff for free. And fortunately for him, but it was after the election, the FBI guy had a conscience and did an affidavit setting out that, they kept the exculpatory evidence from him that he could have used to show he was not guilty, and they manufactured some evidence that indicated he was guilty. Well, Mueller was the FBI director. Well, what happened? Well, the FBI guy that did the affidavit, Mueller ran him out of the FBI. The person that helped fraudulently convict Ted Stevens got a better assignment and got promoted. This has been going on, and if you go back to 2005, there was an article where Comey said that a guy named Christopher Wray, if that rings a bell, had told him that wherever Mueller and Comey went, he wanted to go. He worshiped these guys. So I didn't know Trump was going to be appointing Christopher Wray. And I tell you what, Drew, whoever told him to appoint Christopher Wray was not Trump's friend, was not a Republican friend. And I told President Trump, look, as long as he's FBI director, you're not safe. None of us are safe. Right. And that was years ago, and that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, there's so many places that I want to go with this conversation. One of them right there is Boy, if whoever the next Republican president is, and listen, there certainly has to be fear on the left when you see Kenosha, Wisconsin, and you see the crowd still showing up for the former president. You know that we at CPAC, and there we were broadcasting, and people were standing on line. They were around the building waiting to see the president. They were coming in. You don't have that for anybody, let alone Joe Biden. So obviously there is this fear of the former president running again. I guess on the other side of it is something else that you mentioned, and I don't know, it's always surprised me, and I don't know the answer to this. Why is it that knowing full well that Kevin Kleinsmith, the former top lawyer in James Comey's FBI, pleads guilty, right, to falsifying federal spy warrants against Carter Page. So we know there's precedent, Congressman. There's precedent for them to do something like, hey, we found this at Mar-a-Lago. Really? Did you? Are you sure about that? Because I got questions, because we have precedent to show that you're not exactly a group, a bureaucracy to be trusted. And it's a shame. But then the other question is, where are the members of the FBI getting together in good conscience and coming forward and saying, this is bad? There are things that are happening behind the scenes, and not just a whistleblower behind the scenes and a nameless, fameless individual, but groups of individuals from the FBI saying enough is enough. This is about the country, the Constitution, rule of law. And by the way, everybody, both Republicans and Democrats, we want to protect the country and the rule of law and the Constitution. Where are they, Congressman? Where are these individuals?
Well, as Jim Jordan pointed out last night on Fox, there have been 14 FBI agents come forward, and they don't want to testify. And here's the thing. The FBI leadership, the DOJ leadership, has done such a superb job in just destroying the lives of FBI agents that want to do the right thing and buck the leadership when they want them to do wrong. They don't do so well. And then those people that feel like I need to come forward, I need to stand up at like you say, Drew, as a group. Well, they see what happens. If you don't buck the leadership, they're there to protect you, like Kleinsmith. The guy got probation. And what got me as a former felony judge is that the FISA judges didn't have any more gumption or care or pride in their position. If somebody comes in, like you point out, Kleinsmith, if somebody comes in and lies in a sworn document and this person is with the FBI, I don't wait for prosecution. As a judge, you're allowed to punish fraud upon the court with contempt of court, 6 months in jail. We start there, 6 months in jail, because to whom much is given, of him much is required. He's FBI. He's entrusted with all this power, and he abuses it like this. He's got to go to jail for 6 months right away and then be prosecuted. This guy, he didn't get punished at all, even though his judge said, well, look, I know the punishment is losing your job at the FBI. No, there are plenty of Democrats out there that will hire him and pay him even more for what he did. So they're not afraid of lying and supporting their leadership. They're afraid of standing up and doing what's right because they see how Mueller, Comey, now Christopher Wray, and especially Merrick Garland are just willing to just abuse the oath of office they took.
And I think that's the rub. Congressman Louis Gohmert is joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. And I think that's the rub is because I was just talking to a former FBI guy just a little while ago. And the conversation was on that very topic. And then on the other side of that is you would hate to think that the reason why they wouldn't come out en masse is because of retribution if they did. Like that to me that speaks volumes to why it needs to be washed clean. Like we have to go right down the line. The next president, if it's former President Trump, that is the next president in 24. And I've mentioned this to people, and even at CPAC, I mentioned we got a clean house, top to bottom. Everybody. And we've got to know and vet people that are on the inside. You've got to have trusted individuals that you're going to be able to speak with and about the issues that are in that White House and the things that are going on. Instead of people coming along that clearly are attached to the swamp and want to write books and want to have a career at CNN and everything else. We got to find the right people, not just the people that are going to be the elected people, but the ones that are going to be under and helping the elected people that are going to be responsible and care about the constitutional republic. I mean, this is what I'm worried about.
Well, and your worry is completely justified. And I thought it when Christopher Wray was being shown the video clips of him testifying. Oh, that he was taken aback. He was deeply troubled about the revelations of FBI agents not being honest. Deeply troubled. Well, that was just days ago, and I thought when I saw him, people don't understand this guy. In my opinion, he's exceedingly dishonest. He should never have been appointed, but he would want to change the whole talk from, gee, the FBI agent's been dishonest. What can we do? Well, nothing would be better than to raid a former president's home. It's never happened before, should have happened before to people like the Clinton home after he left office, certainly during the Obama years when Hillary Clinton was busy committing crimes. And what happened? The FBI covered for her. They gave her subordinates immunity. They threatened some of the people involved. So they back up whatever the FBI said. It is such a dangerous time. And I think about Maduro down in Venezuela, going after Guaido, the opposition, or Putin. Every time somebody starts gaining power and looking good, he has them put in jail. That's where we are, Drew. Yeah. It's scary to think about. And just as you said, it is going to take a house cleaning. And of course, that's what Christopher Wray was hired to do, was clean house, and pardon the metaphor, but he's done nothing but sweep everything under the rug.
But you knew it, right?
Protected dishonesty.
But you knew it. You knew it. As soon as you heard his name, you knew what was coming. You knew it.
Yeah, President Trump had talked to me about some people he was thinking about appointing, but didn't about Christopher Wray. I said, oh, my gosh, this guy is dangerous. Oh, I don't know who told him that was a good appointment, but they were not his friend and should never be trusted again.
And then we have the January 6th defendants. We have the issue there. And, I saw this article in the Epoch Times about U.S. Code and the Capitol Police. And I wanted you to speak about this a little bit because I'm really concerned about that, Congressman, as well. How easy it is when we have everything going on in our daily business. It's so easy to forget about certain things, certain issues. You're busy picking up the kids or doing whatever it is you're doing, and losing focus. And listen, we can walk and chew gum at the same time. Everybody, we can do all of it at once. You don't have to tell me I've got to focus on one thing. No. I'll cover it all. And this is something that's so critical because it speaks directly to what happened yesterday and what's been going on and some of what's happening and the corruption that is going on and how awful it is. These are lives. These are people's lives we're dealing with and how they will change forever because of politics. Can you speak to that for a minute?
Absolutely. And it is extremely disconcerting, and it really has a lot to do with what happened yesterday. But with, ever since 1963 and Brady versus Maryland, the Supreme Court said, look, you prosecutors have a constitutional obligation to provide the defense with any potential exculpatory evidence. You got to turn that over. Right. And what we've seen with January 6th, They got 15,000 hours of videotape around the Capitol, and that's not including the private video that they've grabbed. And, I've seen from some of the January 6ers, they were given notice, okay, we're going to use this part of the video, section 7, 8, 10, 11. And guys have told me, excuse me, that when they skip a section, that's the one that would let them show they never intentionally did anything wrong. And they won't they won't let them see. Some of them didn't get to see the prosecution's evidence, much less the exculpatory evidence. So that has been deeply troubling, and it wasn't until last week I saw it's not just a matter of House policy or Capitol Police policy. It's in the law, and it's 2 U.S.C. Section 1979. And there is a case I've seen about this, and I think the left wants to make a lot about it. They see, this says the Capitol Police can decide what is security information and not disclose that. But I was shocked that I had not seen this before. But in Section C of 1979, it says nothing in the section may be construed to affect the ability of the Senate and the House of Representatives, including any member, to obtain information from the Capitol Police regarding the operations and activity of the Capitol Police that affect the Senate and the House of Representatives. They need to provide all of that videotape to any House member that requests it. As soon as I saw that, I drafted a letter and immediately got the first 24 people I saw to sign the letter and immediately send it out so we could get it out the same day I did the letter. And it says, we're House members and we demand all of the videotape. But this is another example of what can be done with whatever they seize from Trump. They'll let you have a little bit, but they don't give you the page. Like with Ted Stevens, the senator, they don't let you have the evidence that totally shows you are not guilty. Not even not guilty, but you're totally innocent, which was the case with Senator Ted Stevens.
Right.
And unfortunately, he died in a private plane crash. After that, he wouldn't have been in that plane if the FBI hadn't set him up and falsely convicted him.
Unbelievable. Well, we keep an eye on these stories and so many others, and I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you giving us a few minutes of your time. I know you're busy, and you are the best, and we'd love to have you back on soon. There's so much to talk about, and love to see you here in Southwest Florida soon as well. So looking forward to that. Representative Louis Gohmert joining us on Daybreak.
Drew,
Fox
you
News.
have great insights, great intuition about what's going on, and it's a pleasure to listen to you.
Well, I appreciate you, sir. All the best. We'll see you soon, okay?
Thank you. Thank you, Drew.
It's all right here at 92.5 Fox News. We've been right all along.
Hi, I'm Kathy Stout. I'm running for Lee County School Board District 1. I'm a parent, not a politician, a businesswoman, not a lawyer. My priorities: kids first with safe schools, higher academic achievement, and a curriculum focused on education of excellence. As a community role model to children and parents, I do believe we can go beyond the classroom as partners in our children's hopes and dreams. On August 23rd, vote Kathy Stout for Lee County School Board District 1. I'm Kathy Stout, and I approve this message.
Injuries on the job can cause you to lose control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar Levine. Money is not coming in and your medical bills are piling up. Our legal team is here to help. We can help you file all your workers' compensation claims to make sure you get the proper benefits you're entitled to. If you've been injured on the job, call the law offices of Anajar Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Naples.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
Dan Martineau. Considering a roofing project, repair, or basic roof maintenance, beat the supply chain issues and inflation costs. Google DRM Roofing. 239-332-1441.
License number CCC 1326954.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
I'm Tiffany Esposito, and I'm running to represent you in the Florida House. I was born and raised right here in Southwest Florida, and I've spent my professional career working to protect and grow our local businesses. I'm running because I want to ensure Florida remains the freest state in the nation. Thanks to Governor DeSantis, we've set the standard for freedom in America, but we must fight to keep it that way. I'm Tiffany Esposito. I'm pro-life, pro-gun, and a champion of the free market, and I will always fight to protect our freedoms. We've seen the impact of Biden's failed policies, from gas prices to the indoctrination of our students to a border crisis. Florida must remain the firewall between tyranny and individual liberty. I'll work to secure our borders, fix our public schools, and I'll keep Brandon's policies out of our free state. I'm Tiffany Esposito. I'm running for the Florida House to fight for the conservative principles that make Florida the greatest state in America, and I'm asking for your vote. Paid by Tiffany Esposito, Republican for Florida House District 77.
At Cool Today, we've been keeping our customers cool since 1963. When your AC is broken, you don't want to wait for service, and you shouldn't. With our same-day comfort guarantee, we promise to be there within 4 hours or your service call is free. Our techs are ready to serve you now, guaranteed. We drive mobile warehouses, and we fix 95% of all AC problems on the same day. If your AC is broke, don't wait. We guarantee we'll be there within 4 hours. Visit CoolToday.com to book now.
CoolToday.com. Even the left speaker sounds right when you're listening to 92.5 WFSX Estero. Fox News. Right all along.
It's a continuation of the greatest witch hunt in U.S. history. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Former President Trump wrote that on his Truth Social app early this morning before he sits down for a deposition today in New York, where the state attorney general is investigating his business practices. Through 2 days after the FBI agents searched the Trump residence in Florida amid a probe into White House classified records. His attorney, Alina Habba, tells Fox.
I can tell you that he was not only working with them, he was cooperating. There was nothing to hide.
Fox's Brooke Sigmund says that has led to this.
Former President Trump has made up his mind on a 2024 White House run following the FBI's raid on his Mar-a-Lago home. That's according to Congressman Jim Banks, who spoke exclusively with Fox News, fresh out of a meeting with Trump at his Bedminster, New Jersey golf club.
I've never seen President Trump as fired up as what he was tonight. He is not deterred.
Now, Republican lawmakers are demanding answers about the raid from the Justice Department as the White House denies Trump allegations that President Biden knew in advance. Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre says
he believes in the rule of law, in the independence of the Justice Department investigations.
Another Republican who voted to impeach President Trump after the Capitol riot has lost a primary. Congresswoman Jamie Herrera Butler has conceded a week after the vote in Washington state, losing to Trump-backed challenger Joe Kent. Another Republican supported by the former president won the primary for governor in Wisconsin.
We feel like we're on a slippery slope towards socialism.
Tim Michaels beat Rebecca Clayfish, who was backed by ex-Vice President Pence. He'll try it next to unseat Democratic Governor Tony Evers. In Minnesota, Republican Brad Finstad won a special election to replace late Congressman Jim Hagedorn, who died earlier this year. Next hour, we'll get an update on inflation, expected to show a bit less of a rise in July from June's 40-year high as gas keeps falling. It's dropped 57 straight days since the record high. Now, $1 a gallon less. America's listening to Fox News.
This Fox News update is presented by Freedom Dental of Fort Myers. Online at freedomdentalftmyers.com.
Wink News, traffic.
In Collier County, we've got a disabled vehicle in Golden Gate, Immokalee Road at Logan Boulevard North. And in the Everglades, we still have that crash with unknown injuries, Collier Boulevard at Port-au-Prince Drive. Proceed with caution. And in Lee County, your westbound slowdown is there. It's backed up 1 mile on Colonial before I-75. It's the same story, just a little bit better condition along MLK. Plan for extra time for both of those routes. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. Belinda Post, Wink News.
Wink Weather Authority.
More Saharan dust sticks around across southwest Florida for today. It's going to be bringing us another hazy and hot one with highs set to warm into the middle 90s. With that Saharan dust in place, we'll be looking at a stretch of below average rain chances kicking off today. Still some isolated areas of rain and thunderstorms, particularly after 5 p.m. expected and into the early evening hours, but more of us will stay dry. Thursday and Friday also featuring just some isolated afternoon thunderstorms with the hazy and hot conditions set to persist on. A high of 95 degrees for Thursday, where we could be tying a record for a daytime high, and a high of 94 degrees on Friday. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Find conservative sanity and Sean Hannity at rightallalong.net. 92.5 Fox News is streaming live around the clock.
You'd think an Army veteran with a military career including multiple combat deployments throughout the Middle East would be a great American. And you'd be right. But Joe Vanderbosch also happens to be a great dentist. An Army veteran of 8 years, Dr. Joe now makes his home in Southwest Florida, where his wife Sarah grew up.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joseph Vanderbosch, Freedom Dental on Metro Parkway in Fort Myers. In the Army, I received extra training in order to provide dental care in virtually any condition. That's why I can manage many dental treatments without the need to refer to a specialist. I served my country proudly for 8 years. Now I want to serve you in your dental needs. Special discounts for former and active military without dental insurance.
Dr. Vanderbosch provides emergency care and is now accepting new patients for cleaning, extractions, crowns, implants, and more. Find them online at freedomdentalfortmyers.com. That's freedomdentalfortmyers.com. Dr. Joseph Vanderbosch. Go to freedomdentalfortmyers.com.
Chevy Sales, Marty speaking.
Marty!
What's with the horn?
It's the summer closeout at Victory Lane Chevrolet.
So?
They're getting big shipments of new Chevys. Whoa, there goes a bunch of new Equinox with 0% for 60 months.
Not again.
Yes, sir, Marty man.
How many Chevys you got?
Too many to count. Oh, that's a small shipment. Look at that. Hey, Marty, I think these are for you. During the summer closeout at Victory Lane Chevrolet. New Equinox with 0% for up to 60 months or make no payments for 120 days. Plus, bring us your trade and get an additional $1,000 off on any in-stock vehicle, regardless of your trade's condition. Victory Lane Chevrolet on the corner of Fowler and Winkler. Find new roads. Online at victorylanechevrolet.com.
0% offer with approved credit. Must finance with GM Financial. All rebates to dealer offers do not combine. Some exclusions apply. Taxes and fees extra.
Need a seawall or boat dock? Call 844-WB-BUILT. I'm Jimmy Williamson of WB Williamson Brothers. WB represents the fourth generation of a tradition that began with our grandfather in 1967, a tradition that made the Williamson name synonymous with seawalls and docks. 2022 building code mandates improved seawall design, and WB is ready. Our seawalls are constructed of 5,000 PSI concrete and with the same composite rebar used in bridge construction. This allows us to offer the industry's only lifetime seawall structural warranty. Our docks are built from true marine timbers, stainless fasteners, and the strongest deck board in the industry, Wear Deck. It's the last deck board you will ever need. And for a limited time, sign with WB for a new seawall, and we will include at no cost a 5-foot wide, 20-foot long dock. And we will begin construction within 90 days. That's right, a lifetime seawall warranty, a free 20-foot boat dock, and we will start within 90 days. WB Williamson Brothers, 844-WB-BUILT.
Plumbing nerds, we're just smarter now, you've heard. Give us a call, we'll fix you up. Anytime, day or night, if your plumbing's just not right, give us a call, we'll fix you up. Plumbing nerds, we're just smarter now, you've heard. Give us a call, we'll fix you up. If your drains are needed cleaned and your toilet's acting weird, give us a call, we'll fix you up. Plumbing nerds, smarter plumbing solutions. Oh yeah.
Byron Donalds, Southwest Florida's conservative congressman.
Byron is standing up to the Washington radicals and taking on the woke left. Byron is working to secure the border, tackle inflation, and get spending under control. Here's Byron Donalds.
They still want to spend billions and billions and billions of dollars on this Green New Deal while inflation is through the roof, hurting every American, regardless of your party, regardless of your race, regardless of your socioeconomic status. This is the insanity on Capitol Hill.
Byron Donalds has been fighting against this insanity every day to keep Florida free. That's why President Donald Trump endorsed Byron Donalds and called him a defender of the Second Amendment, and that Byron is a supporter of America First policies. Byron Donalds, Southwest Florida's conservative congressman.
I'm Byron Donalds, and I approve this message.
Paid for and approved by Byron Donalds for Congress.
So are you sick and tired of that constant pain in your knees or hips or back, especially this time of year? You need to be moving pain-free, right? Hey, it's Drew Steele for the team at QC Kinetics. Look, QC Kinetics is helping people here every day, giving them lasting pain relief using the latest advances in regenerative medicine. The science is simple. They concentrate on your own body's healing agents and apply them to your aching joints, restoring and repairing damaged tissue with no drugs, no steroids, and no surgery. Listen, the old remedies for pain are not the only remedies. You need to learn more about how regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics can change your life. Make this the last summer you suffer from chronic pain. They've got clinics here and all over America. This is the exciting new natural way to deal with joint pain with no side effects and no downtime. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 239-893-PAIN. That's 239-893-PAIN with locations in Naples and Fort Myers. 239-893-PAIN.
Our kids can't vote, but you can. I'm Denise Nystrom for Lee County School Board District 6. Everyone votes for me in District 6. As a former assistant superintendent of schools, I am not happy with our education system. I have attended all school board meetings, and with my skill set, I can hit the ground running. School board elections are critical. If we want our country back, we take our children back. I have the right credentials. I am the right choice. Vote August 23rd for Denise Nystrom. Paid for by Denise Nystrom for Lee County School Board District 6.
Thank you for waking us all up out here, for all you do. And
thank you for giving us the voice.
For being out there helping to keep the constitutional republic.
I want to thank you for
your support for veterans in the military.
Educating us.
Standing up for conservatism.
Giving us the truth.
Daybreak with Drew Steele.
Oh, you better buy your electric vehicle now, everybody. You better buy it today. I mean, don't wait. This week. You better buy it right. Like, I don't know what you're doing right now. I'm not sure if they're open, but you better get online or in line. No, not online. Online would be on a website. In line would be, okay. You know how that goes. All right. Why? I'll explain. Because, it's all about the Inflation Reduction Act. I can't believe I'm getting ready to tell you this, but yeah. And plus, we're going to get more into Mar-a-Lago and what happened to the former president and the raid and the FBI and maybe some other things that have come to fruition in the past 12 hours and some interesting observations that I'm going to present to you with some thoughtful comment and then maybe some thoughtfulness on your side if you'd like to comment as well. 239-479-5592 is the Brett AC Talk and Text line. We stream live, drewsteele.com. The website Steele has 3 E's. Anytime you want to watch, you can go there. You can go to Facebook, facebook.com/Drew Steele Radio. First, you know what? Let's wash ourselves clean for just a second. And let's just remember the calming, soothing voice that is the President of these United States with this, our Morning Cup of Joe.
Sit back with your Morning Cup of Joe.
Not a joke. NATO was formed out of the wreckage of World War II, as we all know, where war, it had, look, just be straight about it. Wars have repeatedly riven the continent, engulfed the world in conflicts, and there's no way to avoid that if we're not together.
Yeah, he's reading off a teleprompter, everybody. He's reading off a teleprompter. That's yesterday, and the president talking about NATO. And does it really matter what the topic is or the subject is? He can't even get through a sentence without fumbling, stumbling, bumbling in him.
True international effort to pressure.
It's the war cry. Everybody loves it, and that is the president of these United States. And we're supposed to believe he had no idea about the raid, FBI raiding. You know what? when you hear stuff like that, you think to yourself, he probably didn't, Jake. He probably knows nothing because he doesn't know anything that's going on anyway. Set me in front of the teleprompter, get me my Jell-O at 8 a.m., and what do I got to say? I'll try to get through it. They're not going to tell. It's probably true when they say that the president didn't know. He found out on the news like everybody else. Remember President Obama? I didn't know the IRS was targeting the Tea Party. I found out all about this in the news. Okay, well, he knew what was going on. Now, you can make the case that the current president of the United States has no clue what's going on anyway. So it's easy to believe that they keep him out of the loop because they don't want to stress him out. Can you imagine if he was stressed out and he actually knew what was going on? How he would get through a teleprompter read? But we are to believe that the Inflation Reduction Act, all his doing has just been the greatest thing ever. Ron Klain, who's the White House spokesperson there, White House spokesman, they're one in one, arm in arm with Joe Biden. Ron Klain, we're supposed to believe he's Biden's chief of staff. Excuse me. Okay. We're supposed to believe that when it comes to the history-making legislation of the Inflation Reduction Act, oh, yeah, you kidding me? This is something that he's all over. He absolutely knew what was going on. And let's talk about the climate change portion of it. Excuse me? But yeah, that's right. Being interviewed on MSNBC, the chief of staff there, Ron Klain, wants to talk about the climate issue of it. Because, the inflation thing, it was just the name. We just wanted half the country, or most of the country, who's really, really busy to hear the headline, Inflation Reduction Act. And they're like, hey, you're doing something. Okay, yeah, we're on board with this. Sounds good. You got it. All right, so what did Ron Klain say on MSNBC? Listen.
Really, I think you actually have to go back to 2019. When President Biden, then a candidate for president, looked at why climate change legislation had never passed. It was because the approach that had been used in the past really split people apart. And he campaigned on the idea that we could get climate change to a better place. We could combat this existential threat.
Yeah, we can't. We can't do this. This idea that throwing money out under the guise of we're going to change the climate, human beings are going to be able to change the climate, is ridiculous, or as the kids would say, redunculous. It's a joke, and they know it. As a matter of fact, there were some studies. Bjorn Lomborg recently, our good friend, who has been studying climate for a very, very long time, and we've had him on this program, who has worked to study the Earth's climate, was saying that this Inflation Reduction Act, that includes clean energy jobs, reduced emissions, and the like, is going to change the climate by 2051 to something like 0.0002%. That's how much climate change is going to be happening. Is that really? Okay. But you got to get your electric vehicle now. Don't wait. Get it now. Here's the fun part, and then we're going to move on. You ready for this, Jake? Axios with the story. If you want an electric car, you better buy it this week. If you're thinking of buying it, this week, because you got to get it before the president signs the big climate tax and health care package into law. What? Wait a minute. Why? Why would we? I thought this was we're going to get all of this this money, right? Electric vehicles. You're going to be able to have all these write-offs, right? The $7,500 that you're going to get in tax credits, right? Well, get this. Democrats hope to dramatically increase the EV adoption via the bill called the Inflation Reduction Act. But strict supply chain requirements added by Senator Joe Manchin could instead slow it down. So what did he do? What did Joe do? To get him to go along with the bill, the rest of the Senate Democrats agreed that only cars with batteries containing a certain percentage of materials sourced from North America or U.S. trading partners will qualify. So what does that mean? We don't have that right now. They're racing to invest in domestic supply chain. It's going to be years before the facilities are up and running. So for now, the EV supply chain is mostly dominated by China, which means that, guess what? EV buyers are currently eligible to receive a federal tax credit up to $7,500, but the benefit is capped at 200,000 vehicles per manufacturer. Tesla, General Motors already hit the cap, so we can't give it to you. And the other part of it is, to get that, you have to have, according to what the bill says, you have to have this certain percentage of material sourced from North America. But that ain't happening right now. And they're not up to speed. So all the things that are in the bill that they talked about with EV adoption, you can't get anyway. Because it doesn't meet the requirements in the bill. Oh, that's good. Hey, no problem here. Everything's going to be fine. Oh, we're going to change the planet, Jack.
Not a joke.
Yep, it's not a joke. That's right. Human beings can do this if we spend the right amount of money and have the right bill. That's right. The climate. Mother Nature's going, I had no idea there were... Oh, wait, that's really not the voice of Mother Nature. Mother Nature wouldn't be like, I had no idea. Well, it could be. I mean, it depends on...
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
I didn't say anything about Mother Nature's gender, although there's a suggestion there that it's a mother, but you don't know really, because these days, I mean, it could be. So Mother Nature's like, I had no idea Democrats were so serious about changing what I do. By writing bills and spending money, because you're a joke.
Not a joke.
No, really, it is. It's a joke. All right, 239-479-5592. I need some TV music pivot. So it appears as if the White House wants you to believe that the White House and Joe Biden had no idea that there was going to be a raid on Trump's Mar-a-Lago home. No way, no how. It's we just didn't know, right? I mean, the weaponization of these three-letter bureaucracies. I mean, this seems outrageous to even say it, right? It's
repeatedly that the president learned of the news of the FBI visit to Mar-a-Lago the other day through news reports. Can you tell us anything more? Was he watching the news? Was he scrolling Twitter? Did someone in his staff flag it for him?
I can tell you this: he was not aware of the was it the Mar-a-Lago raid? I don't know what you guys are calling it.
Yeah, he had no idea. Okay, that thing, the Mar-a-Lago raid, whatever you guys are calling it, he had no idea. Okay. Peter Doocy steps up and says, "I got some questions. Just some questions for the White House. Hold on a second. Raiding the home of Mar-a-Lago. The president at Mar-a-Lago. We got a lot of questions, things that we want to know, like why do you have to search through Melania Trump's wardrobe during this raid? Is it really necessary to do that? And what exactly were you looking for? And hey, when do we get to see the warrant? And what's in there? And all these kind of questions." And then he says,
"Thanks, Green. Do you consider Donald Trump to be a political rival of President Biden?"
I'm not going to speak to that from here.
Well, you talk about Trump all the time. So do you consider him to be...
I don't talk about Trump all the time.
Ultra MAGA, you guys were criticizing his handling of COVID last week. Yeah. You've mentioned his January 6th response a couple days ago. No. So can you say, based on all that, I didn't say anything about Mar-a-Lago. I'm just asking you if you consider the president to be...
I'm saying from here, I'm not going to comment on that.
Okay. Not going to comment on it. Has nothing to say. You're really putting yourself in a bad situation as... Peter Doocy sees it.
Does the president still want to think that he would be very fortunate to run against Trump in 2024, like he has said before?
Again, I'm not going to comment on
All right, we're not going to get any comment, right? So Peter Doocy's got a point to make here. He's trying to get to something. So what is he exactly trying to get to?
Is there a concern here that if you guys don't say more, then these Republicans who are accusing this White House of weaponizing the Justice Department, weaponizing the FBI, that's going to become the public sentiment. If you guys don't say once and for all, we are not doing that.
Right. That is such a great point. Just say it. We're not weaponizing the American bureaucracy, FBI, CIA, anybody else. We're not weaponizing the American government against a former sitting president or an American citizen. We're not doing this. Just say, no, of course we're not doing this, Peter. Are you a moron? What's the matter with you? Even talk smack to me. I'm okay with that. But admit that you're not doing it so that people can say, or maybe admit is the wrong word, just say you're not doing it. And then everybody will feel comfortable knowing that that is not happening. Can she do it?
First of all, we're just not going to comment on the Department of Justice investigation.
Okay,
we're just not going to comment on that.
Is this White House weaponizing the Justice Department and the FBI against political opponents?
The president has been very clear.
Okay, they're doing it. That's it. You've lost all credibility. I mean, it's bad enough that the FBI's lost all credibility and others have lost credibility a long time ago. Listen, you've lost it. You've lost the opportunity to put this to rest or to even make Republicans look like they're cray-cray. Just say, no, of course we're not doing it. So why wouldn't you do that? Why couldn't you say that? It just seems so simple and obvious. Look, you're not helping the situation. We had a primary yesterday. Did you know that all the Trump-backed candidates won yesterday after the FBI raids? Is that what's going on here? Is it because you see where the momentum is and is not? Is it all because we're trying to make sure and desperately trying to make sure that Trump will not run for president of the United States in the future? You know, there's a lot to be said about that. There's a lot to be said about the timing. There's a lot to be said about what exactly was happening and what they were looking for, and some of the other names that seem to be popping up. Kash Patel was on Tucker Carlson's show last night, was talking about and asked about the raid on Mar-a-Lago and his thoughts on that.
This is an invasion of our Constitution by government gangsters. And you have Al Capone sitting at the Department of Justice's headquarters talking to his buddy at the White House, and Eliot Ness isn't coming around the corner. This is about the continuation of getting Donald Trump to prevent him from being president ever again. They failed during the Russiagate hoax. They failed during impeachment 1, impeachment 2, Ukraine, Jan 6, and Mueller. They're running out of time on Jan 6. So now what? A nighttime or daytime raid of the president's home to see if they can stop him. And I highlight to you the person pushing this the most is the Clinton campaign and Mark Elias by touting a statute that doesn't even apply to the president of the United States.
I'm really offended personally.
There's Hillary Clinton's name brought up. Pretty interesting, right? She's starting to sell some swag, as it were. She's selling some merchandise that says, but her emails on a hat that you can buy at whatever her website is. Hillary Clinton is a really evil person, but I got some cool merchandise, so buy my swag.net or something like that. I don't know what the website is. But he does bring up Hillary, and that is interesting. And here's something else that he said that in a little while we're going to dig into. But listen to this. This is Kash yesterday on Tucker's program.
President Trump was a transparency president, and time again, as the former Russiagate lead investigator under Chairman Nunes, who knew where so many of the documents were buried and identified, we tried to get all of it out. And President Trump, on multiple occasions at the White House, declassified whole sets of documents, including, I remind you and your audience that around October of 2020, he issued a statement from the White House declassifying every document related to not just the Russiagate scandal, but also the Hillary Clinton email scandal. So that is a wide-ranging set of documents that the mainstream media is ignoring that order, not to mention his follow-up actions in December, I believe in January off the top of my head, before he left, where he issued declassification orders at the White House. And when the president says that, that's it. He's the unilateral commander-in-chief and the sole authority on classification.
Okay, there's a lot to... Oh, man, I could do a whole break on that segment, and I might have to do that coming up. But I want you to listen to what he's saying. Number one, the president has the ability to classify and declassify information, right? He has that ability. Number two, the fact that, as Kash was saying, that they already went here to declassify this information. This isn't a secret. If they're suggesting that there's some classified information that they have and some things that we need to get a hold of, and we've been negotiating, and according to Trump's lawyers, they were negotiating with the National Archives, and they have been talking back and forth, and it's been very cordial. As a matter of fact, I think once even the former president himself decided to say hi to everybody and visit. And so there have been very cordial meetings on this, and then all of a sudden this happens. So what's going on? Did Kash lead something into the information that we kind of intimated yesterday, but now maybe once again we're kind of leaning in this direction? What am I talking about? Just get to it. Okay. Listen to what Kash says here. Then we got to go to break, Jake. So just keep an eye on the time. Listen to this.
Including, I remind you and your audience that around October of 2020, he issued a statement from the White House declassifying every document related to not just the Russiagate scandal, but also the Hillary Clinton email scandal.
So in October 2020, he made that statement about declassifying information, the Hillary email scandal, and Russiagate. Is that what they were going after? What if that's it? What if, they talked about National Archives and these boxes of things that the president brought from the White House and the concerns about what was in there. yeah, what if part of it is January 6th and trying to find something and manufacture something, not to say that they would ever manufacture. Yeah, remember Kleinsmith and manufacturing information, or saying things about Carter Page to get the FISA warrant and leaving some important information out. You know, the question of whether or not that happened, and of course it did. Falsified Carter Page FISA warrant information. But what if the other part of going into Mar-a-Lago was knowing that the president declassified, hear me for a second, I'm just putting this out there as just a thought process here. What if they knew also that he had boxes of declassified, here you go, all the information ready to go for anyone to see at any moment in time, to which I decide that I want to release this, maybe even during a campaign against who knows who, possibly Joe Biden, possibly Hillary Clinton, that, hey, here's all the declassified information on exactly what happened with Russiagate. And here's all the declassified information on what happened with the the Hillary email scandal. What if they wanted that back? What if those boxes filled were all that? Well, we got to get it back because we don't want it to get out. I mentioned it yesterday. Cash kind of hinted at it. I wonder if that's it. I wonder if that's part of it. Just something to think about. All right, 239-479-5592. Friday, Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road. We will be there broadcasting live our first Friday makeup date from last week. We'll be there. Look forward to seeing you there with Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
Whether you're commuting to the office or driving to the beach, always stay to the right with 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
I'm back to doing what I love and more.
Are you living with foot pain? Visit the Good Feet store in Naples or Fort Myers and discover what makes the Good Feet store approach to relieving foot pain different.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
I'm Armor Persons, candidate for the Lee County School Board. I am proud to have the endorsement of America's Governor, Ron DeSantis. Our school district has lost its way. Liberals and their extreme leftist policies have taken over. They force transgender policies that allow boys to use girls' bathrooms and compete against them on the athletic fields. And they are pushing anti-American critical race theory ideology in the classroom. I'm Armor Persons, and I'm running for the school board to end this nonsense and put parents and taxpayers back in charge of our schools. And I have the support of Governor Ron DeSantis. Governor DeSantis endorsed me because he knows I am a conservative that will fight to empower parents, end political indoctrination in the classrooms, prioritize school safety, and rein in the out-of-control spending. I'm Armor Persons, and I'm asking for your vote on August 23rd so I can bring conservative policies to the Lee County School Board. Paid by Armor Persons for Lee County School Board, District 5.
Hurricane season is here, and there's a lot we need to do to prepare our homes. It's important not to forget about electrical safety. From generators to surge protectors, Mr. Sparky is here for you before, during, and after the storm to provide the best in electrical care. Give us a call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated. Licensed in their respective state or county.
Life can be shattered in a moment. When that happens, you need a big law firm to fight for you. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Dial star 2020. Friends, I care.
Trey Radel, your host of The Drive here. If you think that you might have cataract issues, the only place to go are the eye experts at France Eye Care. Dr. Jonathan France and his people have taken care of me with a LASIK procedure. They've taken care of family members with cataract issues as well. Here's the best part about them, though. They realize that every patient needs a very specific solution custom designed to meet the needs of their lifestyles. So they've got various ways to help you out. Things called enhancement lens options, such as PanOptix, Vivity, and more. All of these provide you with the best possible vision solutions, making you less dependent on glasses after cataract surgery. So give them a call today, 239-418-0999 for your cataract evaluation. You can also dial star 2020. Go to Dr. France and his team and do me a favor. Tell him that Trey Radel sent you.
Dial star 2020. France Eye Care.
I'm Ford O'Connell. For years, I've defended our conservative values right here in Southwest Florida and on the national stage. I stood with Donald Trump through it all. Now I'm running to fight for you as your state representative. I'll stand with Governor DeSantis to fight rising inflation, to pass constitutional carry, to secure our borders, and to stop the indoctrination of our kids. I'm Ford O'Connell. I hope to earn your vote on August 23rd. Paid for by Ford O'Connell, Republican for state representative.
This break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Wink News, traffic.
In Lee County, a couple of crashes. Homestead Road, State Road 82. Proceed with caution. It's the same story across Boulevard and Breton Creek Circle. Again, be careful. We'll take a look in Collier County. In Golden Gate, we have 5181 Green Boulevard, a crash with no injuries, and a disabled vehicle on Immokalee Road and Logan Boulevard North. In the Everglades, we do have a crash with unknown injuries still working, Collier Boulevard and Port-au-Prince Drive. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. Belinda Post, Wink News.
Wink Weather Authority.
More Saharan dust sticks around across southwest Florida for today. It's going to be bringing us another hazy and hot one with highs set to warm into the middle 90s. With that Saharan dust in place, we'll be looking at a stretch of below average rain chances kicking off today. Still some isolated areas of rain and thunderstorms, particularly after 5 p.m. expected and into the early evening hours, but more of us will stay dry. Thursday and Friday also featuring just some isolated afternoon thunderstorms with the hazy and hot conditions set to persist on. A high of 95 degrees for Thursday, where we could be tying a record for a daytime high, and a high of 94 degrees on Friday. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Need some inspiration? Don't look left. Look right. Here. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Swing and a drive. Greenwell hits a long drive to right field. That ball is gone. Home run, Mike Greenwell.
This is Mike Greenwell. I grew up here in Lee County. From swimming in the Caloosahatchee River to playing baseball at North Fort Myers High School, this has and always will be my home. I was blessed to play Major League Baseball for the Boston Red Sox. But when my career ended, there was only one place I wanted to raise my family and build my business, right here in Lee County. You may have known me as a baseball player hitting home runs for the Red Sox, but I'm also a conservative and a businessman. Now I'm running for the Lee County Commission. This is Mike Greenwell. I'm running so I can fight for lower taxes, less government regulations, and to make sure Lee County remains the best place to live, work, and play.
Greenwell swings. This ball is well hit to right field, and that ball is out of here. Another home run for Mike Greenwell.
This is Mike Greenwell, and I'm ready to hit a home run for Lee County. Paid by Mike Greenwell, Republican for Lee County Commissioner, District 5.
I'm Mark Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Unfortunately, many drivers in Florida do not carry liability insurance or have limits of insurance that are insufficient to cover your injuries. Uninsured motorist is valuable coverage that you can purchase to protect you in those instances. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Fort Myers, Naples.
Imagine replacing your old kitchen with the kitchen of your dreams. Brand new custom-made cabinet doors. Drawer fronts, hand-finished by true craftsmen. Designer hardware, new hinges, and everything installed beautifully in less than a week, start to finish. Expensive? No. To the contrary, with refacing by Cornerstone, you'll save so much, we should really talk about your master bathroom too. Go for wow. Go for Cornerstone.
This is Representative Bob Rommel with a special Florida reminder. We are just at the beginning of our hurricane season. That's right. Hurricane season does not end until November 30th. So make a plan and buy your hurricane supplies before there's a rush. To be ready, here are some items you should always have. 2 flashlights with plenty of batteries, a standard first aid kit, a 3-day supply of water and non-perishable food. It's also a good idea to buy a battery-operated radio. For more information, visit floridadisaster.org. Or if you need more assistance with any state or local agency, don't hesitate to call my office at 239-417-6200 or email me at bob.rommel@myflorida.gov. Have a safe and blessed summer. This is Representative Bob Rommel with a hurricane safety announcement paid by the Florida House of Representatives.
Hey folks, can I let you in on a little secret, a little something to talk about? Sean Henderson here, bringing news that Walker's Marine is under new ownership. That's right, Mr. Walker sold the dealership to us at OneWater in March of 21. Over the last year, we've worked diligently to make buying or servicing your boat in Southwest Florida headache-free. In fact, we've made so much progress that our partners at Pursuit Boats and the good folks at Yamaha Outboard paid for this ad to inform you of our improvements. The new Walker's Marine has doubled staff in all of our service locations from Cape Coral to Marco Island. If you're looking to upgrade the old boat and trade her in for something new or used, give us a call. Find us at walkersmarine.com, select your nearest location, and come see us. Tons of boats in stock. We've got new boats, used boats, brokerage boats, consignment boats, and even a banana boat. Actually, I might have to check our banana boat inventory. Seriously, folks, we are here and better prepared than ever to assist with all of your boating needs, and hey, we're always open at walkersmarine.com. Again, that's walkersmarine.com.
You know what a garage door is for, right? To keep some stuff out of your garage? Leaves, water, what is this, dead bugs? If this door doesn't close all the way, it's a mess in here. The wind, the rain. You know that's why we moved out of caves, right? We invented doors. Caveman's wife said, "Hey, Grog, honey, I can't take it with the leaves and the water and the dead bugs in here. Could you please stop working on that stupid wheel and invent the door?" Ugh. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. A simple tune-up with some track and roller maintenance gets your garage door closing all the way down every time. A new rubber seal at the bottom, and your car has a clean, dry, dead bug-free place to spend the night. I don't believe I have to actually explain why this makes sense, but I will, because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage, and we'll come over and make it right. Just think of all the sweeping you won't have to do.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
Byron Donalds, Southwest Florida's conservative congressman. Byron is standing up to the Washington radicals and taking on the woke left. Byron is working to secure the border, tackle inflation, and get spending under control. Here's Byron Donalds.
They still want to spend billions and billions and billions of dollars on this Green New Deal while inflation is through the roof, hurting every American, regardless of your party, regardless of your race, regardless of your socioeconomic status. This is the insanity on Capitol Hill.
Byron Donalds has been fighting against this insanity every day to keep Florida free. That's why President Donald Trump endorsed Byron Donalds and called him a defender of the Second Amendment, and that Byron is a supporter of America First policies. Byron Donalds, Southwest Florida's conservative congressman.
I'm Byron Donalds, and I approve this message.
Paid for and approved by Byron Donalds for Congress.
Liberals suck. That's why we have Clay and Buck. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton. Today, noon to 3 on 92.5 Fox News. Right, all along.
All right, coming up, we've got Drew's College of Political Knowledge, 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you're in a PhD. America's favorite radio segment. And that will be in about 10 or 15 minutes, something like that. So just be ready for that. Also, we will be at Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road in Naples on Friday. It is our makeup date for our first Friday of the month because we were at CPAC this past Friday. And so we missed it. So we're going to make it up. And we will be there broadcasting live on Friday. Hope to see you there. Somebody else who I know was at CPAC was Brendan Leslie. FLVoiceNews.com, Florida's Voice, and he's joining us right now on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News with some of the stories from the website we'll touch on. You had a nice little segment there. You had a speech at CPAC that you gave, which was cool, and how did you enjoy it? Did you like it?
Yeah, that was like, CPAC, man, that's like a once-in-a-lifetime experience, it feels like, every single time. They always bring out all the ropes. They always have the coolest speakers. And I was honored to join the stage with Devin Nunes, former Congressman Devin Nunes, and CEO of Truth Social. We talked about how we need to really take back the mainstream media. It was a good point that was kind of brought up in our panel, Drew, is that we, instead of destroying the mainstream media, what we should be focusing on is redefining what the mainstream media is. And I think, you know, you've been doing that, I'm doing it, and just all these alternative media sites are all just trying to become the go-to source for the truth and become the mainstream media.
That's a great point, right? Instead of destroying them, let them be who they are, and everybody recognizes who they are, and then people search out alternatives, and you have good quality alternatives to go to. if you do have great sources and people that can break news and be on top of it, then you'll go to the better of the two. So that's a great point. Nice. Speaking of which, some of the stories that you've been breaking and talking about, one of them had to do with the state of Florida. A lot of people were upset about the judge who approved the FBI warrant, which, by the way, for those people that don't know, it was the Attorney General, Ashley Moody, who was saying, hey, listen, I didn't know about anything. Nobody told me. I didn't know what was happening. Left out, which the FBI is want to do, and questions about what we may or may not find out about that search warrant and if we're going to unseal it or not. She had a comment about it, and we'll get to that in just a second. But what about this judge, this one who approved the FBI warrant? He's got quite the background and something that you found out. As a matter of fact, if you go to flvoicenews.com, you can see it for yourself, like actually see this tweet. Talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, this guy, wow. There's just everything about him is a one big red flag. So there's reports out there about him donating to the Obama campaign in 2008. He was the lawyer for Jeffrey Epstein's employees. And then most recently, what we found out yesterday after doing some digging after the Pidgey Talk Show was the fact that he had all these anti-Trump social media posts. So I'm like, is there anything about this guy that is impartial in this case? And, it's very interesting. A very interesting question got brought up at my show last night, Drew, is did they purposely, did Biden's handlers purposely go to a magistrate and not a federal judge for this warrant in order to prevent Biden from ever knowing that this was happening?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, it seems obvious. It seems obvious that they were judge shopping. They found somebody who was just a paperwork guy. This guy is a guy who handles paperwork. He's not, he's a magistrate. He wasn't a judge. They didn't go to a quote unquote judge. They found somebody who they knew had a biases and could do this and sign off on it. And get away with moving this forward with exactly what you're describing, which is kind of under the radar, getting it done. It's not like the FBI has ever done anything like that before. It's not like they've ever fabricated information to get warrants before. Kevin Kleinsmith, FISA warrant. Did I say that out loud? Yeah, I did. Okay, look it up. But anyway, yeah, so it appears that way. And you've got the Facebook post there where you can actually see it.
Yep, and he also was sharing posts from a page called, it was like Woke Folks. So obviously, this guy is just the complete opposite of us. And obviously...
Woke Folks?
Yeah, Woke Folks. It was like a Facebook page that he interacts with. So...
Can I ask wait, stop. Can I ask a dumb question? And I'm talking to everybody who's listening right now. Here's a dumb question. You're a magistrate. You're a judge. However you want to describe the position. You're working hard each and every day here in Southwest Florida. You got a lot of time to go on to Woke Folks on Facebook? I mean, it seems like if you were a magistrate or a judge, you're pretty busy. I would imagine that most folks that are listening to my voice right now, getting ready for work or taking the kids to school or whatever it is that you're doing, you're pretty busy. You're hanging out on the Woke Folks Facebook page. I might have questions about how busy you actually are and where your priorities lie. I'm just saying.
Hey, by the way, isn't it today the first day of school in Lake County?
Is today the first day of school? Yeah, it is. Jake is like, you betcha.
So, friendly reminder to all the parents out there, have your kids' eyes and ears open. Send us tips if there's anything, while we're speaking about woke, any woke in the schools.
Oh, wait.
We're ready to expose.
That is a great point. Let's make that point right now. You parents and kids have an opportunity here to expose some of the things that the school districts here in Southwest Florida might be trying to do, laying low and trying to get things through and teach things that they're not supposed to be teaching or talking about things that are questionable. You have an opportunity to be the eyes and ears of the community. Because without you, there are a lot of things that will happen and will be posted. And so if you got a tip, if you think you've got something that has to do with maybe, I don't know, going against what the community believes is the right thing to be doing, or maybe even the law. I know, funny thing, how some of these things work. give Brendan a tip. So how do they do that?
Go over to my website, flvoicenews.com, and you'll see the contact tab, and you can submit pictures and tips in through that way. We are watching that like a hawk, and I like to think of me and Drew as the 1-2 punch here, and of course you could be one, I'll be two. And here in Southwest Florida, when we get a good tip and we can blow it up, things happen, Drew. We've seen results when we expose.
Yeah, no doubt. You've done a fine job here in the community, and a couple of things still going back to the FBI raid. Rick Scott has weighed in on this. A lot of people have asked, what about senators? He has weighed in on this, and he's taken a definitive side on it, right?
Oh yeah, Rick Scott and Barnes. I'm very, very, very proud of the Florida senators right now. Both Marco Rubio and Rick Scott have come out aggressively against this. Rubio's been all over this. He's like, this is basically just a Marxist government that we are witnessing unfold before our eyes. And then Rick Scott's take is, I want an aggressive investigation into the subpoena and get down to the truth of it. I mean, things are going bad when you got people like Andrew Cuomo, Andrew Yang, and other lefties, CNN, saying, oh, I don't know if this raid was a smart idea, because if it is truly over just a little document dispute, that's really not a strong enough basis to do an entire secret FBI raid.
Yeah, a lot of people have talked about it and have said that it seems like an overreach. But we all know how that works. The White House press secretary not saying definitively that the White House is against and is not weaponizing any bureaucracies against Trump or anybody else, political opponents. To not say that kind of feeds into the narrative. Kash Patel, who was on with Tucker, I played a little clip of the audio before a break. About the fact that, hey, look, the president in October 2020 declassified a whole bunch of information on not just the Russia collusion hoax, but also the Hillary email scandal. If he has declassified information and it's sitting in boxes at Mar-a-Lago and they're available to be released at, opportune times, which, hey, that's politics. Boy, if you raided the home and you were looking for something, let's just say that had to do with the PSA, the protection of archived information that the National Archives want, or even maybe something on January 6th that we have the warrant for that we want to find out about. Oh, here's a box that has some Hillary email declassified info. Hey, we'll take that. Yeah, I wonder if some of that was going on. Just speculation, just putting that out there, but it's just something to think about. Kash kind of teased it a little bit yesterday, and I might have to have him on the show to ask about that. Actually, I will. Jake, write that down. Let's get Kash on the show and ask him. I know, because I didn't even think about asking him that before, but when we were at CPAC together. But all right, great stuff. Listen, we got to run. If you want to find out more about the Attorney General's thoughts on unsealing the search warrant, or maybe even CNN legal analysts talking about this seems a little odd, or what our representatives here in the state think about what has happened with this raid, and the judge and the Facebook posts, the actual posts from this judge. You want to see it for yourself. It's all there at flvoicenews.com. You can read it, you can see it, you can check it out. And a reminder that if you have any intel, any information, see what I did there? That was kind of weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's if you see anything that's going on in the school districts and it seems a little bit odd, back to school, and you want to maybe send a tip to Brendan Leslie, you can do that by going to flvoicenews.com and going to the contact. It's up at the top of the page.
Yep, contact tab. Okay. May I do a shameless plug before we get on?
You are shameless, so the plug part is just part of it. Go ahead.
All right, so I just do a plug.
Go ahead.
Next week, Patriot Talk Show is back at Rondeo's in Fort Myers. We got the Lieutenant Governor, Congressman Byron Donalds, and Lee County Commissioner DeSantis appointed Commissioner Mike Greenwell on the show. So I hope to see everyone there in the Lee County Trump Republican Club. Is at 6 to 7. Rondeo's in Fort Myers.
All right, sounds good, and we'll talk about that more next week. All right, Brendan Leslie joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. All right, my friend, good stuff. Have a good day. All right, see you. All right, ready to go, Jake. Drew's College of Political Knowledge for questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. It is America's favorite radio segment. How do I know? Because, I don't know, I dubbed it that, and I'm just running with it. All right, ninth caller right now at 239-479-5592. Ninth caller, we will play, and you will win a $35 gift certificate to the Great Alda's Diner, otherwise known as Alda's Restaurant and Bar, at the corner of 951 and Vanderbilt Beach Road in Naples. You'll get an opportunity to win and get that gift certificate to Alda's next on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Oh, by the way, 239-479-5592. Call now, and we'll play Drew's College next. Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
After Drew, it's Glenn Beck 9 till noon. You've come to the right place. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Lifelong Florida farmer Wilton Simpson. He's been dealing with his whole life. That's why Wilton's ready to be Florida's next Commissioner of Agriculture. From cleaning up his family's chicken farm in Trilby to cleaning up the mess in Tallahassee as Senate President, Simpson's fought to cut taxes for Florida families and a parent's right to have a say in their kids' education. 100% pro-life, endorsed by the NRA for defending our Second Amendment rights against sanctuary cities because we have to crack down on illegal immigration. Is it any surprise that Wilton Simpson has the complete and total endorsement of his friend and ally, Governor Ron DeSantis? In the Republican primary, vote for Wilton Simpson for Agriculture Commissioner, because Wilton's got a lot more to get done for Florida. Paid political advertisement paid for by RSLC Florida, i.e. PAC. P.O. Box 772516, Miami, Florida 33177. Independently of any candidate or committee.
Let's hear from Dr. Johnston at 596-BACK.
In my experience over the years, I have talked to so many patients that were told, you've got arthritis, there's nothing that can be done for your back, neck, or leg pain. You'll just have to live with it. Arthritis means inflammation in a joint, a very general word that doesn't help much at all. What's more important is to discover what is causing the inflammation. At Johnston Spinal Care 596-BACK, I have found that very often one of the underlying problems is nerve or joint compression. Non-surgical spinal decompression is a simple but ingenious treatment that may be the solution you've been looking for, the safest and newest approach with long-lasting healing. Spinal decompression therapy helps relieve pain from herniated discs, neuropathy, sciatica, and stenosis, removing nerve compression and allowing blood and nutrition to go back into the spinal joints to start real healing. What you do today affects your tomorrow. Let us help. Johnston Spinal Care. Call 596-BACK for a free telephone consultation. 596-BACK, 596-2225.
Hi, this is Reg Buxton, and like you, I'm concerned about the future of our great county and country. I'm a lifelong Republican that has lived in Collier County for over 35 years. My conservative principles have guided me to advance the Republican agenda in sponsoring Lincoln Day dinners, board member of Republican clubs, and active participation in many areas of our community. I want to assure you that I will put my years of experience in roadway planning to good use to solve the traffic we are experiencing and will continue to improve the quality of life for all of us in Collier County. We can fix the affordable housing issues without taxpayers having to do the heavy lifting. I work to ensure mental health facilities are expanded to reduce the tax we pay to arrest and incarcerate through the sheriff's budget. Vote for me, Reg Buxton. Like you, I'm concerned about the future of our great county and country. Paid for by Reg Buxton, Republican, for Collier County Commissioner, District 2.
This is Kevin Carnes, your Lee County Clerk of Courts and Comptroller. One of the greatest honors of my life was getting the call that America's Governor Ron DeSantis had appointed me to the position of Clerk of Courts. Governor DeSantis knew my 15 years of experience working in the clerk's office, along with my conservative principles, made me the right choice to be your Clerk of Courts. I've worked hard to not let him or you down. Now, I'm running to continue serving in that capacity. I'm Kevin Carnes, and as your Clerk of Courts and Comptroller, I am dedicated to ensuring your government works transparently, and you have open access to government records. I also stand as a check and balance to hold our local government accountable. As a lifelong conservative, you can trust me to make the best decisions with your tax dollars and always uphold our constitutional liberties. I'm Kevin Carnes, and I'm asking for your vote so I can keep working as your Clerk of Courts. After all, Governor DeSantis picked me, you should too. Paid by Kevin Carnes, Republican for Lee County Clerk of Courts.
92.5 Fox News.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
It's Drew's College.
All right, let's go to Dennis. Dennis is in beautiful L.A. How do I know? Because here's Dennis. I think.
How you doing, Joe?
Oh, there you go.
How you doing, Joe?
I'm doing well. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Your associate's degree question, sir, starts right now. Hey, Dennis, what's Florida's nickname?
Sunshine State.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got an associate's. We'll see if we get a bachelor's degree on this question. Let's see. This is a interesting one. All right, in 1990, the Persian Gulf War began. Iraq invaded this country. Which country did Iraq? Kuwait is correct,
Kuwait.
sir. That's correct. All right, you got a bachelor's. We'll see if you get a master's degree on this question. Let's do this one. In this year, the Supreme Court ruled unanimously for school integration. That would be Brown versus Board of Education. What year did that take place? Was it 1875, 1920, or 1954?
1954.
That is correct, sir. All right, you're on you're like butter because you're on a roll. Didn't somebody say that once before? Okay. All right, so you got a master's. Here's a PhD question. Listen carefully. We've had 2 father-son combos as president of the United States. You know, we had the Bushes, George H.W. and George W. Bush. We've also had another combination of father-son presidents in our nation's history. Who were they?
Johnson's. Jackson's.
Who was that?
Jackson.
No, it was the Adams, John Quincy Adams and John Adams, our second and our 6th president of the United States. All right, well, listen, you got a master's. That's good stuff there, Dennis. You should feel all buffed up, puffed up, and whatever else up. So you got yourself a master's degree, and you got a $35 gift certificate. I can't even say it today. It's is it Friday? A $35 gift certificate to the great Alda's Diner, 951 Vanderbilt Beach Road in Naples. Can you stay there, Dennis? Are you excited?
Oh, God, I'm just elated.
Good. Okay. Don't go anywhere, Dennis. Dennis sounds happy, Jake. All right. Yeah. You don't think so? I thought he sounded very happy. Elated, if you will. All right. Coming up, there's some Hillary Clinton news, but not what you think. We'll explain coming up in just a second.
92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
He'll be questioned under oath. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Former President Trump will today be deposed in New York.
Part of the New York Attorney General's long-running civil investigation into his real estate dealings. The Trump Organization is accused of misstating the value of assets like golf courses and skyscrapers, as well as misleading lenders and tax officials.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. Former President Trump wrote online early this morning it's a continuation of the greatest witch hunt in U.S. history on the heels of the FBI raid at his Mar-a-Lago, Florida residence. Fox's Griff Jenkins says
his attorneys were reportedly not allowed to be present during the raid. Agents seizing some 12 boxes of materials, including notes from North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un, a letter from Barack Obama, a cocktail napkin, and a birthday dinner menu. Meanwhile, as Trump also faces new scrutiny over his personal taxes, a group of GOP House members huddled with him and say the former president is ready for a fight.
And if anything, it paves the way for Donald Trump to unify the party once again and run for president.
Congressman Jim Banks tells Fox the former president has now made up his mind about that 2024 run. And while Republicans demand answers from the Justice Department on the raid amid a probe into White House classified records, sources tell Fox there are growing threats online aimed at the FBI director and agents and the attorney general. Later this hour, we'll find out how bad inflation was last month. Economists predict consumer prices did not rise quite as much as June's 40-year high.
The key driver? Falling gas prices. But prices for staples like food and rent are still high, so no dramatic inflation dips are expected.
Fox's Jill Nato. The price of gas has dropped 57 days in a row, and a full $1 from June's record high. AAA's national average for regular now $4.01 per gallon, which is still 82 cents more than a year ago. America's listening to Fox News.
Life is about
Right. 92.5 WFSX Estero. Fox News. Right. All along.
This news update is presented by New South Window Solutions. Find them online at newsouthwindow.com.
Wink News, traffic.
If you're waking up in Estero, plenty of traffic 75 north at Corkscrew. The heavily congested area, though, 75 south at Corkscrew. Also westbound on Corkscrew, trying to reach the interstate. In Bonita Springs, there is a crash, Redwood Lane. This near Imperial Parkway. Proceed with caution. We've got a crash, Cross Creek Boulevard at Breton Circle in Lee County. We'll tell you, Daniels westbound, 82 to Commerce Lakes. You are moving quite slow. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. Belinda Post, Wink News.
Wink Weather Authority.
More Saharan dust sticks around across southwest Florida for today. It's going to be bringing us another hazy and hot one with highs set to warm into the middle 90s. With that Saharan dust in place, we'll be looking at a stretch of below average rain chances kicking off today. Still some isolated areas of rain and thunderstorms, particularly after 5 p.m. expected and into the early evening hours, but more of us will stay dry. Thursday and Friday also featuring just some isolated afternoon thunderstorms with the hazy and hot conditions set to persist on. A high of 95 degrees for Thursday, where we could be tying a record for a daytime high, and a high of 94 degrees on Friday. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
At home or on your phone, no matter where you roam, you can always get rightallalong.net, the new web home for 92.5 Fox News.
Everyone understands that when you buy more, you should pay less. It's called a volume discount. Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window, and we would like to make and install your windows. New South offers volume discounts for homeowners. The more you buy, the more you save. Our discounts start at the fourth window, and from there, the savings grow. New South can do this because we own our factory, and that's the power of Factory Direct. Award-winning, energy-efficient windows that will save you money and protect your home. Our windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers, and we guarantee them for life. Visit us at newsouthwindow.com.
Chevy Sales, Marty speaking.
Marty!
What's with the horn?
It's the summer closeout at Victory Lane Chevrolet. So they're getting big shipments of new Chevys. Whoa, there goes a bunch of new Equinox with 0% for 60 months.
Not again.
Yes, sir, Marty man.
How many Chevys you got?
Too many to count. Oh, that's a small shipment. Look at that. Hey, Marty, I think these are for you. During the summer closeout at Victory Lane Chevrolet. New Equinox with 0% for up to 60 months or make no payments for 120 days. Plus, bring us your trade and get an additional $1,000 off on any in-stock vehicle, regardless of your trade's condition. Victory Lane Chevrolet on the corner of Fowler and Winkler. Find new roads. Online at victorylanechevrolet.com.
0% offer with approved credit. Must finance with GM Financial. All rebates to dealer. Offers do not combine. Some exclusions apply. Taxes and fees extra.
Dear Lee County residents, on August 23rd, you'll elect a new county commissioner due to the passing of Frank Mann. I'm Joseph Gambino, and I'm not a politician. I don't have any special interest to serve on the county commission seat. I always put God, family, and country first. Lee County is one of the fastest growing counties in our nation. I'm committed to keep taxes low and maintain our quality of life. I'll get right to work and tackle the key issues in our county, like rapid development, rising electric rates, supporting small businesses, and water quality. My opponents are wealthy, power-hungry tycoons, one in construction development and the other a serial politician in commercial real estate. I doubt their motives as county commissioner have anything to do with improving life for you or your family. Elect me, and I will owe no favors to anyone except doing what's in the best interest of the residents of Lee County. I will be a commissioner for the people. So, on August 23rd, vote for Joseph Gambino, Lee County Commissioner, District 5. I'm Joseph Gambino, and I approve this message.
At Cool Today, we've been keeping our customers cool since 1963. When your AC is broken, you don't want to wait for service. And you shouldn't. With our same-day comfort guarantee, we promise to be there within 4 hours or your service call is free. Our techs are ready to serve you now. Guaranteed. We drive mobile warehouses, and we fix 95% of all AC problems on the same day. If your AC is broke, don't wait. We guarantee we'll be there within 4 hours. Visit CoolToday.com to book now.
CoolToday.com.
Back to school is just around the corner, and as you get the kids set up for success, make sure you've got a winning insurance plan with the protection you need in place for your home and auto. Hi, this is Brian Chapman at Chapman Insurance Group. When it comes to protecting your loved ones and property, consider CIG. Give my team an opportunity to quote your home, auto, business, or flood policy. At Chapman Insurance Group, we can save you money for the same or better coverage in Southwest Florida. Visit a location near you or online at cigflorida.com today.
Hey folks, can I let you in on a little secret, a little something to talk about? Sean Henderson here, bringing news that Walker's Marine is under new ownership. That's right, Mr. Walker sold the dealership to us at OneWater in March of 21. Over the last year, we've worked diligently to make buying or servicing your boat in Southwest Florida headache-free. In fact, we've made so much progress that our partners at Pursuit Boats and the good folks at Yamaha Outboard paid for this ad to inform you of our improvements. The new Walker's Marine has doubled staff in all of our service locations from Cape Coral to Marco Island. If you're looking to upgrade the old boat and trade her in for something new or used, give us a call. Find us at walkersmarine.com, select your nearest location, and come see us. Tons of boats in stock. We've got new boats, used boats, brokerage boats, consignment boats, and even a banana boat. Actually, I might have to check our banana boat inventory. Seriously, folks, we are here and better prepared than ever to assist with all of your boating needs. And hey, we're always open at walkersmarine.com. Again, that's walkersmarine.com.
Thank you for waking us all up out here, for all you do.
Thank you for giving us the voice.
For being out there helping to keep the constitutional republic.
I want to thank you for
your support for veterans in the military.
Educating us.
Standing up for conservatism.
Giving us the truth.
Daybreak with Drew Steele.
All right, so we'll ask a provocative question this morning. Are you ready? Are you ready for provocative? Jake, are you ready for some provocative questions this morning?
Yeah.
No. Maybe tomorrow. Should I wait till tomorrow? Because I don't want to bother you. I mean, if it's gonna freak you out a little bit or give you a little bit of agita, as we like to say. And what was that? You never heard agita? You don't know what that is?
Nope.
No. Okay. I said that, and you cringed for a second, like it was some kind of.
I wasn't sure if it was a bad word. I don't know if it's press the button or.
No, agita is not a bad word. I've got some bad words for you. You know, there's something about growing up in a Sicilian house where, and you're with Sicilians and some Italians, and there are people that you grow up with that don't speak any English or it's all broken. And one thing you do is you learn quickly what are the words that you kind of use and the common ones, and then the ones that are when you're describing, you got a belly pain, you got a stomach ache, it's agita. You got agita. Okay. But then there are ones that are the cuss words that you know what they are. And then you find out quickly from your family that you're not allowed to use those words when something hits you. That, man, I got to move on. Okay. But anyway, here's the point. Let's ask a provocative question this morning. And I don't know. I'm just going to put it out there. Why do we need the FBI? Do we need them? I'm just asking. Like, what is the purpose? What's the mission of the FBI? And then, what if they weren't around? Like, what if there was no FBI? Let's kind of just tease that a little bit for now. We'll get back to it. Put it over here. Put it, as some lefties say, put a pin in it. And we'll get to it in just a bit. All right, 239-479-5592. Is the Brett AC Talk and Text line, streaming live, drewsteele.com, the website, Steele S3Es. We appreciate you watching, subscribing to the channel on Rumble, subscribing to the podcast, going to facebook.com/Drew Steele Radio. You can watch there as well. All right, before we get to that, let's get to some of this. Here is some interesting audio as there are questions about clearly the IRS and targeting Americans and how we've been worried about all of these different agents and 87,000 and it makes up 170 and there's going to be more IRS agents and there are going to be some other bureaucracies combined and all of these concerns. And I wanted to play a little bit of this here.
So I'm not asking you to comment on the Justice Department side of this, obviously, because I know your answer. But politically, is the president, who's the country's leader, is he confident that he has a plan to address the way that a lot of Americans, maybe even a very large number of Americans, are being told and may now believe that Donald Trump is being persecuted, that the deep state's coming after you, that the IRS and the FBI are corrupt, all this kind of stuff? This is really believed, apparently, by really a lot of people. He's the leader of the whole country, as he often says. Does he have a handle on this?
Does he have a handle on this? It's a pretty straightforward question by a reporter for White House Press Secretary Jean-Pierre. listen, you got all of these alphabet bureaucracies. You have people talking about going after individuals. The IRS, when you have 80,000 extra IRS agents, they're not sitting around going after billionaires because there's not enough of them. So they got to do something. So you might say that they're going to go after you, me, all of us. They got to figure out something for them to do. And then the weaponization of the government and bureaucracies against American citizens, see Trump-Russia collusion. You can see a lot of different things that we had in the past, and I'll get to that in just a second. So it's pretty straightforward. The White House just has to answer the question. I mean, there's nothing to worry about here with all of these bureaucracies, right?
Your question is still asking me to comment on what's happening, right? By me answering it is still asking me a question to comment on it. Oh, absolutely. So I'm going to stick to what I've been saying is that this is a criminal investigation that's independent to the DOJ, and we leave any inquiry, any questions about what is happening to the Department of Justice.
Okay, yeah. So, no, that's not what he was asking. But, of course, pivoting back to, listen, we're not going to talk about the raid on Mar-a-Lago. We're not going to talk about rummaging through Melania Trump's closet for different things. We're not going to talk about the fact that yesterday I was joking about the fact that, what are you going to find some cocktail napkins? And then we find out today on Fox National, top of the hour, that, yeah, they found some cocktail napkins that they took. I thought I was joking, but I'm not joking. So they're not answering the question. They're not quieting the voices of those who are legitimately concerned about where we're going. Banana Republic. You want to shop today at Banana Republic? No, I'm not talking about shopping. I'm talking about Banana Republics, like the Banana Republic that we are quickly becoming, and the concerns of that, because we have a constitution that we want to follow, and there are some people that have a problem with the Constitution. Ask yourself who they are. You know the answer. Who are the people in the United States of America today who have a problem with the Constitution, the rule of law, and even the founding of this country? Ask who they are. You know it. So then we pivot over to, and we slide over to questions about one, Hillary Clinton. Why do we do that? Well, because there are certain people that have extra bona fides, I guess, than others. You know, in other words, there are certain people that are beyond the law that you don't get to talk about, you don't get to ask about, you don't get to do anything, you don't get to prosecute, you don't get to touch. Leave her alone. Come on. Hillary has got some merch to sell. We're going to get to that in just a second. Why is she left out of the discussion? Well, it was Tom Fitton from Judicial Watch who's like, no, we're not leaving her out of the discussion. I believe he was on, was it Fox yesterday? When he was talking about this new merch that's being sold. She's got a hat that says, but her emails. That's pretty humorous, he thinks.
Well, it's consistent with her mockery of the rule of law. Remember when she joked, wipe with a cloth when they talked about deleting emails? This person, on the other hand, isn't president because of her emails. And she's also out there, in many ways, helpfully reminding Americans that she's a beneficiary of the same type of corruption that that led to the FBI raiding Trump. Remember, she worked with the FBI, her campaign did, to target Trump in 2016.
Is he wrong? Is he wrong? Again, above the law, you don't get to talk about Hillary using and weaponizing bureaucracies to go after Trump, selling now but her emails because, Hillary's innocent. There's nothing that you can say. There's nothing you can look at. There are no scandals that you can point to and say, I think there are some scandals out there that have to do with Democrats. And they're like, scandals with Democrats? Are you serious? You can't tell me that there's any Democrat scandals, especially any kind of scandals that you would see that have to do with Hillary Clinton attached to it. That's a ridiculous notion. And said, well, nobody ever, especially when you have examples of some of those Democrat scandals, then, you've probably the IRS scandal. Okay, there's plenty of scandals. But anyway, I digress. I was looking for a piece of audio and I couldn't find it. But here's this one. How about CNN trying to fact check about destruction of servers that Hillary Clinton did you would imagine that would be an offense that you would have the FBI go after and target. And if you remember this moment back from 2017, is
somebody who is absolutely disqualified from becoming president. They destroyed BlackBerries with hammers in the State Department. That's not what we won the presidency.
Actually,
and
Evan,
hold
on. Can you fact check that? Hang on, Evan Perez. Hammers, fact check that for me, please, on the fly.
Yes, they did, Brooke. As you mentioned, there were 13 devices, mobile devices, and 5 iPads that the FBI said that, in some way were used with her private email server, and they did, in some cases, just destroy them with hammers when they were done using them.
How about that? That seems really weird. They fact check, and they're like, yeah, she did destroy some stuff with hammers, but hey, Trump. And you can't point to specific scandals that Democrats have had, or Hillary Clinton, or
the Uranium One scandal,
the IRS targeting scandal,
the Clinton Foundation Fusion GPS dossier,
Benghazi,
Hillary Clinton email case,
Sergeant Bo Bergdahl. Remember him?
Yeah, there have been a few in the past, but listen, it's all about Trump, everybody. If you're going to weaponize the FBI, if you're going to investigate people that are true criminals, you got to go after, the true criminals, because some of them get to what? So it takes me back to the provocative question that I will ask now. And maybe you have a thought on this, 239-479-5592. Because I had a conversation yesterday with a state representative, and we were talking about different issues, and I brought it up. And why do we need the FBI? Do we? People love, people don't love one Republican Florida state representative. His name is Anthony Sabatini. He's got like a love-hate relationship with people in the state. Some people love him, some people, not so fond of him. He's called for the state to arrest FBI agents conducting law enforcement outside Florida's purview and to sever ties with the Department of Justice. Says it's time for us now in the Florida legislature to call an emergency legislative session and amend our laws regarding federal agencies. And sever all ties with the DOJ immediately. Any FBI agent conducting law enforcement function outside the purview of the state should be arrested upon. Okay, well, now some would say you gotta take it down a notch there, Representative Sabatini. Hold on, whoa. But it does lead me into the question that I'm asking: Why do we have an FBI, and why do we need it? And even in talking with this representative yesterday, not Sabatini, but somebody else, I come across this audio of Rand Paul from 1988. And it's pretty interesting when you listen to it. Love him or hate him, Rand Paul, it's your choice. But this is an interesting discussion that he was having, again, back in 1988. And let's remember that if you go to the FBI.gov website, the mission of the FBI, it's right there in writing. The mission of the FBI is to protect the American people and uphold the Constitution of the United States. All right. Some people have had questions with the actions of what they've been doing lately. And Rand Paul brought this up. And I want you to listen to this clip. Check this out.
Most of our history, we didn't have those institutions. The FBI came in during the First World War. And interestingly enough, the one thing that Woodrow Wilson did, he used the FBI to spy on American citizens and actually arrest them if they disagreed with his foreign policy about going to war in Europe. And isn't it interesting how recent they used it in the Vietnam era? Democrats used it there. Republicans used the FBI to spy on 100 different groups in this country, including the churches, who disagree with the policy in Central America. It almost looks like the FBI was designed to spy on Americans who might be disagreeing with policy, especially the foreign policy.
That's pretty provocative, isn't it? Let's remind ourselves when these alphabet bureaucracies came along, how they have been used not just in our current history, but in our past, and the fact that they're only recent. They're not a part of our history as a nation. So that would suggest that there were a lot of years, centuries, you might say, that went by without it. It's impossible. I mean, is it? So what did we do? What can we do? Do we really need an FBI? Do we need a CIA? Do we need an IRS? I'm just asking. I'm not answering the question. I'm just putting it out there. Considering the way it's been used lately and the things that we're seeing, and hearing Rand Paul and discussing the history and some of the abuse. And then he says one other thing, and I want you to check this out.
So the FBI, although I don't think I could condemn everything they've ever done, because I'm sure some of the investigations and investigation of crime has been beneficial, but that could be accomplished through Justice Department within our states. We wouldn't reject that portion of it. But I think the FBI has kept and continues to keep a lot of records on a lot of individuals. The CIA has only been here since 1947. Their record is lousy.
So that's Rand Paul, 1988, talking about the FBI and the CIA. And look, that's what we do. So there is the suggestion that you would leave it up to the states. Well, how can they afford to? Well, we would find ways to fund states to be able to handle the investigations that are happening in each state. We wouldn't have to have necessarily an FBI and an overreaching entity that goes above and beyond and would even be there to help and to help share information with state and local, even international law enforcement. We can figure out ways to do it without them. So the point is a couple of things. And I bring this all up and wrap it up with this. Do we need a lot of these alphabet bureaucracies? You can answer that question. The second thing would be, what would we do? Now, you have a couple of choices. You could say, well, listen, why don't we just do this? Let's not get carried away. We just need to fix the FBI. We need to figure out a way to figure out the FBI, the CIA, when it comes to woke, even in the military, when it comes to the investigations into American citizens and the weaponization of such and the worries that we have there. All we have to do is figure out a way to clean house. We just have to make sure that the next president of the United States, and hopefully that's going to be a Republican, and they'll have a House and Senate on their side, will do due diligence to investigate, to find out, and then to clean house, top to bottom, get it clean, get it all out of there so that you have people that don't have a bias except the bias of following the rule of law and the Constitution of the United States, that we are keeping the nation safe and secure, all citizens, everybody across the board. The other side of this would be, well, then maybe we do leave it up to state level, and maybe we do abolish it altogether, and maybe we get back to a time when that didn't exist, and we reinforce and help to enforce state jurisdiction and law enforcement and the like, and we find another way to do this. But notice I didn't say leave everything the way it is. So clearly we can't keep it as is, but we've got to do something. And I just thought that was kind of a provocative question for the day. And maybe you have some thoughts, 239-479-5592. Do we have time for a call, or should we just go take a break? I think we need to take a break. Let's take a break. And when we come back, we'll have the top 5 audio clips of the day, the 5 at 8:35. We will, yes, get to your questions. There are people that I'm looking at on the board right now who want to call in with some questions. I will take your questions. Maybe you want to comment on what is a very provocative question today, is why do we need a lot of these 3-letter bureaucracies anyway? And what could we do instead? Just questions to ask. That's all it is. It's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along.
The news you need, the host you trust, getting it right all day and all night. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
All right, one of my favorite calls always is with Dave Meister, owner of the Floor Meisters in Naples. And anytime I'm hearing from Dave, I know something special is going on. So we know we have new Dreamweaver carpets, and we know the installation time frame very quick, but we also know that there's some other things that are going on with carpets. Tell us a little bit more, Dave.
Hey, Drew, this Dreamweaver carpet that is the hottest thing since sliced bread. We stock about 20 rolls of it. It has a step warranty. We could carpet the average person's steps, an average set of steps, for $750 to $850. We also can do the average guest bedroom in remnants for like $500. That's carpet, pad, and labor, and turn out the old carpet. And you got to stop in to see this. We stock 20 rolls of it, but there's like 100 and some available.
Now's the time to visit their store at 6281 Naples Boulevard next to Costco, or online at floormeisters.com.
Hi, this is Lindsay Scott Garza. Growing up, my dad, retired Lee County Sheriff Mike Scott, instilled in me a passion for public service and a dedication to this community. He taught me how the justice system affects our community, which inspired me to go to law school and still motivates me as an attorney today. I'm running for county judge because I want to ensure our constitutional liberties are always protected and the rule of law is upheld. I will always be fair, impartial, and apply the law equally. I'm Lindsay Scott Garza. As a third-generation native who is raising my own family here in Lee County, my heart, soul, and future revolves around this community. As an attorney, I have spent countless hours in the courtroom. This experience has prepared me to take this next step and serve as a Lee County judge, where the Constitution will always be my guiding light. I'm Lindsay Scott Garza. I'm running for Lee County judge, and I would be honored to earn your vote so that I may continue to serve our community. Paid by Lindsay Scott Garza for Lee County Judge Group 4.
Our energy bill went from $301 to $457? What?
No mistake, folks. Power companies and energy bills are out of control. Forget solar, expensive, ugly, and takes forever to return your investment. Plus, the government has new policies that drastically reduce your tax credits for solar, and the power companies are drastically reducing the amount of credit you get for return power from your solar. I'm Keith from Storm Shield Windows and Doors. Installing quality, energy-efficient impact windows and doors in your home is the best way to reduce your energy bills by an average of 35%. Not only do you get huge monetary savings, but also hurricane protection, security from intruders, an 80% noise reduction, even temperatures throughout your home, added value to your home, and beautification of the exterior and interior of your home. Call now for a free estimate to learn about the benefits of our products before power companies take any more of your hard-earned money with no justification. Storm Shield Windows and Doors, 239-349-3870. That's 239-349-3870. License number CGC A60475.
I'm Dan Severson, and that's the sound of a fighter jet taking off. Over the course of my 22-year career in the United States Navy as a Top Gun fighter pilot, I've heard that sound thousands of times. From my time as a military officer to serving in the Minnesota legislature, I have always put country and community first. Now, I am running to represent you on the Lee County School Board, and I have the endorsement of former Commissioner of Education, Richard Corcoran. I'm Dan Severson. I'll put an end to the indoctrination of our students through critical race theory and gender grooming. I will rein in the out-of-control budget, put parents back in charge of our children's education, and bring classic curriculum back into our classrooms. We're a conservative community that deserves conservative leadership that we can trust on our school board. I'm Dan Severson. I am that conservative, and I am asking for your vote. Paid by Dan Severson for the Lee County School Board, District 4.
Call the pros at Unique Services now for our $89 drain cleaning special. Our free video camera inspection will pinpoint exactly what is needed to clear those clogs and help prevent expensive drain repairs. The expert plumbers at Unique are available 7 days a week to clear any drain for only $89 per drain. Guaranteed. This is a limited time offer, so call 941-500-9819 now. License number CMC 1250555, CFC 1429592, EC 1300-2942.
You need Unique. Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere, and Jay will beat it, guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at GoodDealsAppliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
So are you sick and tired of that constant pain in your knees or hips or back, especially this time of year? You need to be moving pain-free, right? Hey, it's Drew Steele for the team at QC Kinetics. Look, QC Kinetics is helping people here every day giving them lasting pain relief using the latest advances in regenerative medicine. The science is simple. They concentrate on your own body's healing agents and apply them to your aching joints, restoring and repairing damaged tissue with no drugs, no steroids, and no surgery. Listen, the old remedies for pain are not the only remedies. You need to learn more about how regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics can change your life. Make this the last summer you suffer from chronic pain. They've got clinics here and all over America. This is the exciting new natural way to deal with joint pain with no side effects and no downtime. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 239-893-PAIN. That's 239-893-PAIN with locations in Naples and Fort Myers. 239-893-PAIN.
This update is presented by Stevie Tomato's Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Wink News, traffic.
If you're waking up in Estero, plenty of traffic 75 north at Corkscrew. The heavily congested area, though, 75 south at Corkscrew. Also westbound on Corkscrew, trying to reach the interstate. In Bonita Springs, there is a crash, Redwood Lane. This near Imperial Parkway. Proceed with caution. We've got a crash, Cross Creek Boulevard at Breton Circle in Lee County. We'll tell you, Daniels westbound, 82 to Commerce Lakes. You are moving quite slow. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. Belinda Post, Wink News.
Wink Weather Authority.
More Saharan dust sticks around across southwest Florida for today. It's going to be bringing us another hazy and hot one with highs set to warm into the middle 90s. With that Saharan dust in place, we'll be looking at a stretch of below average rain chances kicking off today. Still some isolated areas of rain and thunderstorms, particularly after 5 p.m. expected and into the early evening hours, but more of us will stay dry. Thursday and Friday also featuring just some isolated afternoon thunderstorms with the hazy and hot conditions set to persist on. A high of 95 degrees for Thursday, where we could be tying a record for a daytime high, and a high of 94 degrees on Friday. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
When listening to the radio in your car, remember to always drive on the right side of the road. Keep it here on 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
Top gunfighter pilot Dan Severson is the conservative Lee County needs on the school board. Out-of-control spending and constant infighting has created an environment where our kids come last. Lee County needs a strong conservative leader who will make our children's education and safety come first. That leader is Dan Severson. From his time as a U.S. Navy Top Gunfighter pilot to 8 years fighting for conservative policies in the Minnesota legislature, Dan Severson has the experience, principles, and record Lee County can trust on the school board. And he has the endorsement of former Commissioner of Education, Richard Corcoran. Dan Severson will put parents back in charge of their children's education and put an end to liberal indoctrination policies like critical race theory and gender grooming. Dan Severson is the conservative leader our conservative county needs on the school board.
Paid electioneering communication paid by Parents for Accountability and Education, 1375 Jackson Street, Suite 202, Fort Myers, Florida, 33901.
Chevy Sales, Marty speaking.
Marty!
What's with the horn?
It's the summer closeout at Victory Lane Chevrolet. So they're getting big shipments of new Chevys. Whoa, there goes a bunch of new Equinox with 0% for 60 months.
Not again.
Yes, sir, Marty man.
How many Chevys you got?
Too many to count. Oh, that's a small shipment. Look at that. Hey, Marty, I think these are for you. during the summer closeout at Victory Lane Chevrolet. New Equinox with 0% for up to 60 months or make no payments for 120 days. Plus, bring us your trade and get an additional $1,000 off on any in-stock vehicle, regardless of your trade's condition. Victory Lane Chevrolet on the corner of Fowler and Winkler. Find new roads. Online at victorylanechevrolet.com.
0% offer with approved credit. Must finance with GM Financial. All rebates to dealer. Offers do not combine. Some exclusions apply. Taxes and fees extra.
Your family can get a lot more done when you work together, like making dinner together, doing laundry together, and even saving together with the FPL Energy Manager. It uses real data from your smart meter to tell you where your energy is going, then gives you easy-to-follow tips that the whole family can help with, and save you more than $30 a month. So don't miss out. Check out your free FPL Energy Manager at fpl.com/take control and start saving together.
Station is supported by Kubota and Florida Coast Equipment.
The right place for local talk. Drew now. Trey for the Drive at 5. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
All right, here we go. It is time for and we're going to get to your phone calls in just a minute, by the way. 239-479-5592. Time for the top 5 audio clips of the day. It's 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
5 at 8:35. Number 5.
This is truly just the scariest moment as an attorney for me to watch, because when I took my oath of office, I believed in people like the FBI and the DOJ would be there to protect us, to defend us, especially a former president. I haven't seen anyone else be treated like this in my life. Russia hoax, Letitia James. You know, and I can tell you honestly, Jesse, as somebody who is very intimately related with all of his legal cases, there is more than people know that you'll be hearing that this lines up perfectly, that I can tell you that they are working in tandem together to try and take him down. And if he wasn't ahead in the polls, this wouldn't be happening.
Whoa, that is Trump attorney Alina Habba, who appeared on Fox News with Jesse Waters, talking about they've been cooperating with the National Archives over records. This was completely unconstitutional, that she is terrified, and hey, stuff's going to come out. By the way, there were agents wearing backpacks, going in there, taking cocktail napkins. I said it as a joke yesterday, and yeah, they were, and other things. And that if he wasn't ahead in the polls, this wouldn't be happening. Is she right?
Number 4.
Thanks, Green. Do you consider Donald Trump to be a political rival of President Biden?
I'm not going to speak to that from here.
Well, you talk about Trump all the time. So do you consider him to be...
I don't talk about Trump all the time.
Ultra MAGA, you guys were criticizing his handling of COVID last week. Yeah. You've mentioned his January 6th response a couple days ago. No. So can you say, based on all that, I didn't say anything about Mar-a-Lago. I'm just asking you if you consider the president to be...
I'm saying from here, I'm not going to comment on that.
Does the president still want to think that he would be very fortunate to run against Trump in 2024, like he has said before?
Again, I'm not going to comment on...
It's just a quote from the president. In the next election, I'd be very fortunate if I had that same man running against me. Does he still
All I
think
can
that?
tell you, Peter, is that the president intends to run in 2024.
And that's it. And Peter Doocy did go on to ask about, hey, listen, all you have to do is, and this is the audio clip we should have had, so there was a mistake there. It's my fault, and I'll take full blame. Jake doesn't get the blame. I get the blame. It's my fault. That it should have been, what? Okay, it's Jake's fault. Jake, he hit the wrong clip. It should have been Peter Doocy when Peter Doocy was asking White House Press Secretary Jean-Pierre, what? Should I just replay and use it and use the proper clip? You don't. It's no. I should. All right. Let's use the proper clip. Let's make believe what it didn't happen, and let's go to cut number 4. Here we go. We just heard number 5. I just said something very pithy. Everybody is thinking to themselves. Let's move to number 4.
Number 4.
Is there a concern here that if you guys don't say more, then these Republicans who are accusing this White House of weaponizing the Justice Department, weaponizing the FBI, that's going to become the public sentiment? If you guys don't say once and for all, we are not doing that.
First of all, we're just not going to comment.
There you go. Okay, that's the clip that we needed, Jake. And it was White House Press Secretary Jean-Pierre saying, yeah, we're not going to comment. Are we weaponizing the FBI or anything else against political opponents? Yeah, hey, you guys want to talk about the inflation reduction? No, we want to talk about this, please. No, they won't do it.
Number 3. Gender-affirming hysterectomy is very similar to most hysterectomies that occur. A hysterectomy itself is the removal of the uterus, the cervix, which is the opening of the uterus, and the fallopian tubes, which are attached to the sides of the uterus. Some gender-affirming hysterectomies will also include the removal of the ovaries, but that's technically a separate procedure called a bilateral oophorectomy. And not every gender-affirming hysterectomy includes that, and people who are getting gender-affirming hysterectomies do not have to have their ovaries removed.
Okay, did you hear that, Jake? I just want everybody to understand that was Francis Grimstad, who is an MD, an attending physician, the Division of Gynecology, describing gender-affirming hysterectomies, perfectly healthy human beings getting gender-affirming hysterectomies. And that video you just heard was from Boston Children's Hospital. Boston Children's Hospital. What happens during a gender-affirming hysterectomy? Gender-affirming healthcare. Don't tell us that it's something other than what we know that it is, that she just described. They're describing it now for you, everybody. It's out there. Don't tell us it's anything else except mutilation. Don't say it.
Number 2.
You know, NATO was formed out of the wreckage of World War II, as we all know, where war, it had... Look, just be straight about it. Wars have repeatedly riven the continent, engulfed the world in conflicts, and there's no way to avoid that if we're not together.
Just once. I'm just asking, just once, can the President of the United States just once read a teleprompter and not do that? Is there any way that we can short-circuit the short-circuit to get the circuits working just once so that we can have confidence in... Nope.
Number 1.
We still support the one China policy. We go there to acknowledge the status quo is what our policy is. There was nothing disruptive about that. It was only about saying China is one of the freest societies in the world. Don't take it from me. That's from Freedom House.
Let's talk a little bit.
Democracy, courageous people.
A strong democracy, courageous people, and one of the freest countries in the world. That is Nancy Pelosi, who is talking about China. That's Nancy Pelosi talking about China.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
No, I'm not kidding, everybody. That's Nancy Pelosi. She's not kidding. That is about, what? Yeah, so Nancy Pelosi going on to NBC yesterday and talking about how awesome China is. Such a free place. What a democracy. What a beautiful... Talk about one of the freest democracies on the planet. We're talking about China, everybody. Communist China.
Democracy.
You know, Revolver had an interesting article about Nancy Pelosi and China and the trip. And I just quickly want to go to this before I go to your calls. 239-479-5592. I promise we will end with your calls. We're going to get to them coming up. I want to hear from you in just a second. But I want you to listen to this article. Pretty much everybody would agree that China is a serious problem. The communist state is certainly a bigger threat than Russia. But what the GAE, the globalist American empire, as they have described it, the strategy against China isn't serious. America allows in hundreds, if not thousands, of Chinese spies into the country every year. The CCP effectively recruits among the immigrant population here. Dual nationals are, for some reason, given top security jobs where they can access sensitive materials. Many of them routinely caught stealing that information from the CCP. So how do people respond to this? Does it call for a moratorium on Chinese immigration, bar dual nationals from security jobs, and monitor the Chinese community for potential links to the CCP? Absolutely not. It calls all those ideas racist. In fact, the Department of Justice recently ended one of its programs to look out for potential Chinese spies because it was deemed, quote, anti-Asian. The intelligence community is ordered to hire Chinese Americans despite their greater risk. What this article is talking about specifically is they're saying that when Nancy Pelosi decides she wants to go to China and the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, says, you can't do that in China. And Nancy Pelosi's like, no, we're going. And then the Democrats are like, yeah, no, we're going to go. And then what do conservatives do? They say, you got to go. Yeah, we're standing up to those bullies. You got to go. Meanwhile, there's really no reason for her to go. But on the flip side of that is, what are we doing seriously about China? Everything I just read to you in this Revolver news story is footnoted. You've got stories about the things that I described. If we have evidence of America allowing in hundreds, if not thousands, of Chinese spies into the country every year, and we have evidence and news stories of such, how they're effectively recruiting the immigrant population here to do their dirty work, given top security jobs. What are we doing to stop this? All the talk about how bad it is and going against Nancy Pelosi's got to go because we're going to stand up tough and we know what you're doing and they're evil and they're bad. What are we doing here in the country to stop it? We're not doing anything because according to this administration, if you talk about or even hint or intimate the fact that we've got to do something about Chinese spies, no, that's you're racist. You can't do it. We're not a serious country. We're not serious. Well, maybe I am and you are, but when it comes to the politicians who will cower to any and every minority voice that's out there, a group that is telling the majority what to do, a group of voices that are a very small minority of the country that are going to push and call you racist because of, or some Isterobia, that you will ultimately bend a knee and you'll do what they say. And in the meantime, we are not protecting this country. It's seriously something that we have to talk about, and maybe we'll talk about it more coming up during the week. Let's take some calls. Let's see. Let's go to Chris in Naples. Chris is holding on patiently. Go ahead, Chris. What's on your mind today?
Hey, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Hey, I wanted to mention, Nikki Fried said yesterday in a press conference that she believes in the equal rule of law, and she condemned Governor DeSantis for what he said in this press conference.
Yeah, she said we're all waiting for lots of answers from yesterday, and we all deserve them, but we need...
She's got to be voted out of office. The equal rule of law, has she bumped her head?
No, it's...
marijuana?
Maybe that's what it is. She said, but we need steady leadership who upholds the American values, including the rule of law and civil discourse.
Our governor's done nothing but that.
Oh, no. He's got this whole Gestapo big thing going on there where he's got people that he is bringing in, and they got a police force now. It's the DeSantis force.
Just probably put her on the next bus to New York.
Well, politically speaking, she's going to lose. She's not even going to beat Charlie Crist, and politically speaking, she may be on the next bus to New York. I see what you did there. I see. You see the reference? Bus to New York? Okay. All right, this is Ivan in Port Charlotte. Good morning, Ivan. How are you?
Good morning, sir. I have something I'd like to talk about real quickly here.
Sure.
The FBI here in the States remind me of the old KGB and the MVD and the procuracy of the Soviets. Their job was to instigate proceedings against political nonconformists on charges that did not fall under the KGB's purview, and that would be similar to the DOJ. The KGB or the FBI would go out and then they would investigate these political dissidents, and then they would pass it on to the MVD. And then from there, they were charged with sometimes all kinds of crazy stuff. I mean, here's a crime for you that a lot of people here in the United States do not know. They call it hooliganism, which basically is like you're disturbing the peace or disturbing the public good. And
I would say we're starting to learn a little bit about hooliganism. If you're looking at what happened in 2020 and what happened on the streets of America, and how when certain groups didn't get their way, they took to the streets in very violent ways.
This is correct. This would be the political this would be the KGB instigated agitators that they would put out to counter the political hooliganism. And this is another part of the second. This is the second chief directorate of the KGB. The KGB had five directorates, and the second chief directorate was responsible for domestic security. And that's where this looks like everything is going there. They're supposed to investigate political crimes of treason, espionage. Let me think, what else? Terrorism. What the anti-Soviet agitation was one of the favorite things of the KGBs. So anything that was anti-Soviet, they put it against you. Well, here in the United States, the FBI is anti-Democrats. So this is where I'm telling people is you need to be very careful, because you're about to step off into something very, very ugly. I left Estonia in 1993 as quickly as I could. Once communism fell and I could gather enough funds, I got myself out of Dodge, as my boss man would say. And I've been in the United States since 1994. And I've been watching for the past 5-6 years. And I have been having conversations with other people, including people from the Eastern Bloc, former Eastern Bloc countries. And now we gather once a week and say, what are we going to do?
Right.
Where are we going to go now? So this is getting very scary, and I am very not liking what I'm seeing from this government.
Wasn't that who was it, Ivan? It was. Do you recognize the name Yuri Bezmenov?
Bezmenov was
a KGB defector.
Yes, Bezmenov was a KGB defector, but the United States thought he was agent provocateur coming over here to give false information to the United States.
Because there have been some pretty famous videos out there of his conversations, something like 35 years ago, and how he was talking about propaganda and ideological subversion, and he was an expert in that field of Marxist-Leninist propaganda.
He was expert in what's called desinformatia or disinformation. He was very, very well adept at this. I'm familiar with this person.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm very familiar with the KGB, so
yeah.
I definitely don't want to see KGB start up here in the United States. And this appears to be what the government has done here. They've used the FBI and turned it around on the citizens. And this is very, 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 very troubling to me and myself and other people from the old Eastern Bloc countries.
Yeah, how frustrating, Ivan, it is to see it all, and you're watching destruction folding. It's almost like you're watching a car crash in slow motion. Like how this ends, and you're screaming and yelling. It's like a what is that? What's that? It's like a Matrix movie where things have slowed down so to a point where you're watching everything step by step. You've seen this movie before. You know how it ends.
Everything that's going on is like political concrete. You're watching this. You can't. We are screaming. What exactly? Right. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
And I said, listen, you exercise every possibility you can, and do everything you can. Make sure you try and go and vote these people out.
Yeah.
And I am saying this to the American public. This right now, if you don't stop this whatever the heck you want to call it, you don't stop this now, it's going to snowball out of control, as one of the favorite terms is. And it's already on the way down the mountain. Someone needs to do something to stop it. And that means we need to vote these people who are so-called Democrats that love democracy. This is a constitutional republic.
Yep.
And I do not like what's happening. And then I urge everyone, if you are not Republican, at least make yourself no party affiliation so you can go into the ballot box and vote for whoever the heck you want to, preferably a Republican.
Yeah, there you go. Ivan, we got to run. Thank you for the phone call. God bless. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
All right, you too. Wow. All right. Glenn Beck is next. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. It's Daybreak 92.5. Fox News right all along.
There's a reason they call tasteless, stale food leftovers. Feed your brain the right way. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Pandemic, market drops, elections. Don't let the noise and fear distract you. Where do you go for clarity in uncertain times? I'm Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida's financial planner. For experience, advice on planning for retirement, visit savingtheinvestor.com.
Let's hear from Dr. Johnston at 596 BACK. Low